Hey, Buff Nation, BWBs, basketball world, welcome to TLP Live. This is TLP Sports Club. You are watching TLP Live. I am your host, Harry Billion. I am taking a break from the Monday Night Football. Oh, I'm sorry. I have another channel on. Give me a second. All right, so basically, I'm taking a break from the football talk tonight to talk about the situation that's going on with Caitlin Clark, and I think her name is Chennedy Carter, because it's a Chennedy. So, but I guess on ESPN they were talking about Kennedy Carter. So we'll call her Kennedy Carter. And the reason why I want to talk about Kennedy Carter and Caitlin Clark tonight is because the conversation is going left, or I don't know if it's left or right. It's going to a different place. And I want to talk about it because obviously it's kind of correlated to Coach Prime and a lot of the hate that he receives. But anyways, I don't want to talk about Coach Prime tonight. I really want to talk about this because I feel like there is some weird conversations being had. Like too many names are being called. When the whole Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese situation happened when they were in college, we had a similar response to Angel Reese and people calling her weird names, all because of women being competitive on the basketball court. So tonight I want to take a break and I want to have a conversation about this situation. And I did a video, I isolated a video showing people the the whole Caitlin Clark situation or the play that happened and the one that's circulating heavily in the media, on social media and other places. I feel like when it first happened, guys, when it first happened, I took a position to defend Caitlin Clark. And to I had a weird feeling about it. I'm like, what the heck was that about? I went straight to the idea of why does that girl just hit Caitlin Clark? She must be jealous. Before seeing a second clip that started to circulate, so my mind just was already made up based on the first clip. So tonight I want to talk about that. Um, Hopefully I don't have to do it alone. I want you to call in and I want to hear some voices on this. I want to hear what people think tonight. I want to hear what you think. Join tlplive@gmail.com. It's the email. You email me, I send you a link, you come onto the show, and let's talk about this because I feel like it's something important for us to talk about, especially because there's not really much going on around our Buffs. They they has summer conditioning that's going on, and there's a lot going on. Just like last year, they had the whole military come through, and they just went in the pool. They're training. They're trying to get back to they're trying to get into shape, especially to acclimate the new guys. So there's not a lot going on, and I feel like that conversation may just turn into another college football conversation. But we'll continue that on. We'll continue the Buff talk on Friday, and we will try to do some things where we can try to see how many scores the Buffs are going to have or how many points they're going to score against the competition. I'm going to pivot that to Friday. So we will have some football talk on Friday, and then we'll continue talking about football on Monday. But tonight, I want to dedicate this show to racism in college, in sports, period. And I want to talk about the Caitlin situation. All right. Hopefully somebody will join me. Hopefully I can get some people to come on here and have a conversation with me because I feel like the conversation is the whole situation is turning left. It's going to a place where it doesn't necessarily have to go. That's why I wanted to talk about it tonight. Kim B, what's up with you? D Cot, what up with you? Mike says Dion groupies. That's rude. That's very rude. I'm not a Dion groupie. You need to calm down. One white girl from Iowa does good at basketball, all playing victim and race card like Dion. Really? Bro, don't call me a groupie, bro. You don't know me like that. Like straight up. I know this is YouTube, but don't call me a groupie. You don't really know me like that. We can all be smiles and fun, but don't call me a groupie. I'm not a groupie, bro. Watch your mouth. All right, so here we go. What I want to do is to start off the show. What I want to do is I want to play the clip and then we'll discuss it. I want to play the first clip that is circulating. I already made the video for those of you who didn't see it. Um, I want to play the first clip, and then what up, Tennis Channel, and then so you can see what's going on. And I want to have a conversation because on First Take, Stephen A. Smith and Shannon, I mean, they got it all wrong. I just feel like they are a mouthpiece for certain people. And I mean, their conversation, the way that they came at it, it was like all of these girls are jealous of this white girl. And I'm like, come on, bro. Like, y'all are just foul. Y'all wrong for this. So, anyways, we're gonna deal with it. We're gonna have a conversation. Let's go. And I would it's funny because Barstool Sports, they're always like on a weird side of every conversation, at least on Twitter, from what I've seen on Twitter. Because the first thing that they tweeted was assault. That Kennedy, I'm just gonna call her Kennedy just so I don't have to keep saying Chennedy. So they said it was an assault. When they tweeted that, it's like when something happens, they're always like they'll put a word out there, and then it just kind of like, come on, bro. I know what y'all doing. I know why you're tweeting that. It's not an assault. It's a basketball foul. All right, it's a basketball foul. But let me pull this up. We'll talk about it, and then hopefully, you know what I'm saying. Hopefully, I'll be able to make some sense, and then if I can get some people to come on here so that we can have a true conversation. Um, so Monica McNutt was one of the guests that was on Stephen A. Smith's show, and she kind of leaned into Stephen A. Smith. I just feel like it was some like conery behavior going on with Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. I'm like, come on, man. Like, y'all are just coney right now. This is ridiculous. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, anyways, I didn't like what they were saying, but so let me pull this up, and then we'll watch it, and then we'll talk about it. For those of you who haven't seen the situation, I'm gonna play this because I want to make sure that we have a decent conversation about it, and hopefully I can get some people to call in so that we can have a conversation. I want us to talk. I want to have a conversation with people. I don't want to have to just talk about this all by myself. Um, I would love to have somebody come on, whoever can come on. Stop contributing to the hate, Harry. You look silly, bro. You look silly for saying that silly stuff. Stop being a don't be. Listen, man. I'm not in the mood. Okay, I am not in the mood, Mike. Not tonight, bro. Don't do that. I'm not contributing to the situation. This is a situation that everybody's talking about it. When you talk about it, you're trying to make sense out of conversation that people are having in the public discourse. We're trying to make sense out of it. We want to make sure that people understand what is really going on. This is not a race situation. People are calling Kennedy, they're calling her all kinds of thuggish names. They're saying that she's a thug. This is not jailhouse basketball. Hey, Peter, what's up? This is not jailhouse basketball. I want to show you that was just a regular basketball situation that happened, so that we can just have a conversation. Just let it be known that it was just a regular basketball situation. It was a foul. She should have been, the NBA has called it. They have upgraded the foul to a flagrant one. It's a flagrant foul. Like we saw, it's a foul. Whenever you retaliate, the ball is not in play, and you're retaliating on somebody because you felt some kind of way on how and while they foul you down the court. That's a situation. You know what I'm saying? Then it's a foul. But that's what it is. It's only a foul, and unfortunately, people are not trying to treat it like a foul. So let's play this, and then we'll come back. Let me make sure I don't get YouTube. I'm what's the name? I'm using this as what's the name? Okay. So on your screen, this is what is circulated on your social media. This is what you're seeing the whole time, the entire time. This right here is what you're seeing. This is the only thing that you're seeing online. All right. So you're seeing what's obviously a foul. What is an obvious foul? You see her right here before she comes up. Her name is Kennedy. Number 7. Her name is Kennedy. You'll see her mouth. All right. When she comes up, you see her talking. She comes up and you can see her talking. All right. So people, if you see her talking right here, I want to pause it when she comes up. Right here. You see her talking right there. Her mouth is going off. She and Caitlin Clark have been jousting back and forth. They've been going back and forth. They're talking and they're having a conversation. You seen this clip, right? When you look at this clip, all you're going to see is just this happening. All right? When you see this happen, guys, you're going to be like, what the heck is she doing? Like, Caitlin is just standing there. How I say that Kennedy is just going to come up to her and just hit her out of nowhere. So your initial thought is going to be, dang, that's messed up. That's really messed up. It is messed up. It's obviously messed up. Like, but that's if you're only judging it off of that, right? It's kind of weird. Why would somebody just come out of nowhere and just hit somebody? So this is all that they're showing you, and this is all your initially. This is what I was seeing too, just like everybody else. And they're like, you know, they're like, oh my gosh, this is terrible, right? It's just terrible. And I had the same initial reaction. It is terrible. It's a foul. Let's make sure we understand what this is. It's a foul. It's called a hip check. Okay, she hip checked her. She didn't, and she did it as bad as it looks. This is light work compared to what we see the ladies do. It also happens in the NBA, but the ladies are even harder than this. So she hip checked her. When you do that kind of hip check, it's just an indicator to say, when we see it in basketball, we say, oh, something happened, she bumped her because something happened. You know what I'm saying? But that's a hip check automatically. Like we already know what that is. All right. So when you see that, your initial reaction is going to be, yeah, that's mad. That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But then somebody did something where they showed this clip. When they showed this clip, right there, they're showing a sequence of plays that led up to this situation, right? When you see, if you're judging that situation off of that one clip, then you're like, it was uncalled for. She has no reason just coming up to Kayla and just hitting her. But when you then see the second clip and you start to put it together, you understand now it's a competitive thing, right? She gets the elbow right there. She gets elbowed. All right. If you watch it, you see Kaylin Clark's elbow. She swings her elbow in the direction of Kennedy, right? Pushes her back like that. Kaylin Clark is trying to get her arm away from Kennedy. You can see her arm swing. You can see Kennedy holding her arm, and Kaylin Clark is trying to let go of her arm, and she swings, right? So she pushes her, and she sees that. So that's the initial spark. That's what sparks this whole thing, right? So she's feeling some kind of way. She's like, "Oh shoot, okay, you gonna bump me like that? I see what's going on." We see the whole play happen in real time. All right, she kind of falls backwards. All right, so that's what happens, and then we go up here, right? And we play this play, and we're gonna see the elbow happens. This is a wider position, and if you haven't seen this video, you can see this video on my channel. All right. So now we come down. They start the joust, and they're coming back and forth, right? And then we come back, and then right there, you will see Kaylin Clark right here on the left. You'll see Kennedy or Chennedy. Man, if I'm saying Kennedy because that's her name, hopefully that's fine. But she spelled it Chennedy, right? Endy. So I think it's Chennedy. Okay, so you see Kaylin Clark come up from behind her, right? And she pushes her on the back. So this is a sequence of activities or a sequence of things that's happening in basketball. if you don't understand that all of these things that are happening are going to be agitating to the player that is happening to, then you don't really understand how basketball works. So the initial shock of seeing Kennedy push hip check Kalen, that initial shock is just like hate all around. But when we like, that's not a basketball play. Where did it come from? Why did she do it? Then so the jealousy talk is plausible if that's the only thing that happened, right? So we said, like, yeah, she's jealous, because that's what I thought initially, until I started seeing the basketball stuff that was happening, and which led up to that. She takes the shot and she comes back later on after she makes the shot, and she's like, we're going to resolve this. And then that's what happens, and it leads to this thing happening right here, because they've been jousting back and forth. They've been going back and forth. They've been talking. So we want to make this out to be something else that it really isn't. It's a jousting match going back and forth. They're competitive. We cannot take away the idea of women being competitive. The second we see this type of competition for women, we want to call it something else. When it comes down to men doing the same thing, it's like it's normal. When you see Draymond Green kicking people in the nuts, when you see Dennis Rodman, taking people's heads off, when you see Scottie Pippen ready to take people's necks off, all right? When you see Patrick Beverly, checking Zoe, when you see those things happen, it's regular competition. We all kind of shrug it off, and that's what it is. It's just competition. But now we're taking this thing and we're sending it into the stratosphere of race. Now we're calling this girl a thug. This is jailhouse basketball. All right? Here goes a comment right here. Brandon ZZZ1 says, I disagree. When he watched my video, he says, I disagree with what I was laying out. I'm sure he probably meant to say, this is not prison basketball, prison ball. The WNBA needs to do better and wonder why people ain't watching. It's not prison ball. All right? Now, somebody else, a couple of other guys came in here and they said that she's a thug. She's a thug for doing what she did. It's women basketball. They're competitive. If we can just say, oh, okay, once you understand that it was once you get that and you're not satisfied that it was one of those things that happened on this side of the court, and then it continued to happen, and she just retaliated, and we could just treat it as a foul, and you're now treating it like it's a race situation, you're calling this girl a thug, then what are we doing? Let me make sure I'm not missing nobody's email. Then what exactly are we doing? Because now it's about race, and it's not about, now it becomes a race thing, and it's no longer about basketball. I understand that Caitlin Clark, they want to make her the great white hope. They want to make her the face of basketball, of the women's basketball. There has already been great. Y'all let me know if I forget the Tarasi. I don't know if her name is, but the girl that transferred to New York for the Liberty, and Kevin Durant was like, "Hey, you should come over here because I'm over here." When he was playing for the Nets, she transferred. Is she not white, or she's a different race? Y'all let me know if you're. I think she was white. There has been great white women basketball players in the WNBA, right? So for y'all now to be trying to make this thing a race, oh, she's white, she's getting paid more than them. A lot of people are online and they're just going in. They're going in. And I'm like, why are we doing this? What's wrong with this girl being frustrated, getting upset, and retaliating just like any other competitive athlete would do What's wrong with that happening? It's emotion. If you spit on me, you cannot tell me how I should react or when I should react. It's an emotional situation. But then you got people like Stephen A. Smith. As soon as they started their show, the first thing him and Shannon Sharp was saying is that these young women are jealous, or not young women, these women are jealous of Kaylin Clark. I cannot dismiss the idea of some people being jealous of Kaylin Clark. I get it. But for this to be the argument about people being jealous of her, it's ridiculous. You're inviting people to try to take it to the race card. Because ain't nobody jealous of this. Is not a jealous play. Excuse me, guys. Let me bring my guys on. Because I'm like, man, it's so unfortunate because I would like the idea of people talking about the face of Kaylin Clark. We don't, it's like everything has to be about race. It's like without race, we can't do anything without it being a racial line. Yo, Kaylin Clark is a great basketball player. She's gonna find her wing. She's gonna find her way into this whole WNBA thing. And guess what? Just like Zoe was treated like, hey, okay, you're gonna get all of that press, and oh, you're supposed to be this great wonder kid. We're gonna make you feel like we're gonna welcome you into the NBA. It's okay to do that. It's a competitive thing, and if you are the ones being talked about, people are gonna come after you. It happened in the WNBA. It happened in the NBA. It can happen in the WNBA. But let it be that. Let's not turn every time something happens to Kaylin Clark. Let's not turn this into a race situation or race conversation. We're gonna call the young black women, or we're gonna call the black women thugs and criminals when something happens to the white people, when something happens to the white girls. Yo, I don't know why are we so racially charged in America? I have no idea why we're so racially charged in America. And then I hate the fact that you got black prominent people like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, who's now this big old guy who got his, Shannon Sharp, his club Shay Shay. Now they're taking the people that are in their ear, telling them, "Oh no, go sell it this way." They're doing this thing, and it's pissing me off. It's so unfortunate because now they're just perpetuating the stereotype that's out there. And they're piling on, and everybody's gonna, because whenever stuff like this happens, you need people who have the mind and the a righteous blood to be able to divide it for what it is. But every time something like this happens, we don't have anybody that's righteous enough to say, I don't care how much money you're paying me, I'm going to talk about this the right way so that we don't divide people any more than we've already been divided by politics. And we're trying to make this about race, but I'm like, yo, if she really hated her, do you think that hip check would have been as soft as it was? That was light work. Hey, Willie, thank you for calling in, man. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. Glad to be here, man. Glad to be here. Yeah.
So go ahead, man.
Yeah. I played basketball. Played competitively. That wasn't a racist move, man. That was just a basketball move. We used to put we used to call it body checking. You put a body on a person. I knew if I wanted to hurt a person, I knew how to do it. So that was not a racist thing. Racism is something that we Americans have grown to, and that's all we talk about. We don't, and everything. I don't believe everything is racial. However, I do know racism. When I see it coming from the South, this was not that type of thing. Now they do have issues in the problem. We do have a lot of issues with racism, but this is why we as Americans talk about it so much, because that's all we've known all our lives. Some people just can't handle it. They can't deal with it. White people are mad and black folks are mad. Everybody just mad.
I
Um,
don't like I don't like the fact that they're always trying to pin us against each other.
yeah,
I want to like Kaylin Clark without all the extra sauce. I like Kaylin Clark. Her story, when it was told after this situation happened, her dad or somebody told the story that said, nah, when she was coming up, there was not enough girl leagues. And, and she had to play with the boys. And, she's somewhat of a tomboy. I mean, I saw Kaylin Clark at one point. She's so competitive. The girl would freaking lift her shirt off. I'm like, oh no, girl, I know you're a tomboy, but you can't do that. Okay, you're not a boy. Like, so I like Caitlin Clark. She's a competitor and she can play. I mean, obviously she's a little scrawny and she's, if you tap her a little bit, she can go flying. But I
yeah,
don't think she flopped. So I'm gonna dispel that thing. I don't think it was a flop job. She was hit. She's
yeah,
small. She just came from college. So it's like she's gonna have to put on some weight, lift some weights, put on some muscles. And then before you know it, she's gonna be leading this WNBA in scoring, and she's gonna probably take her team, the Fever, to a title to contend for a title. Unfortunately, she couldn't do it for Iowa, but I believe she's going to do it for this team. But I want to like this girl. I just don't like the powers that be wanting to split us. And I'm not naive to think that it's not better for us to have race involved because that's going to make it more interesting. The
yeah,
whole Deion Sanders situation, the fact that race is involved, the fact that he's so polarizing, to be more polarizing, you need the element of race to make it even more divisive to sell more tickets. And now, but they're trying to create an enemy out of nothing. And I can't see prominent black people like Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp, they're out there just pushing this craziness like everybody's jealous. And I'm like, it's such a shame. Let me bring on Phil. We'll continue the conversation. Let me bring on Phil. Hey Phil, what's up, man? Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you, brother.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy Monday to you.
hey, same to
And,
you, Phil.
and before you go on, before you give me your thoughts. Flocka says facts. Don't remember them defending Lonzo. It was a thing. It was like a welcome thing, and Patrick Beverly wasn't trying to hurt him. Patrick Beverly was trying to say, "Hey, Lonzo, welcome to the NBA. I know that you're the golden boy, whatever." And his teammates weren't there trying to defend him. Like some people are saying, where are her teammates? But this was not even that. This was a situation that was isolated that had a thread. Nobody's showing the thread. The That's why I said propaganda is just a terrible thing and I'm pissed off tonight. But I'm gonna try to keep it together because these race it's a very I don't know how to what to term it, but it's a very sensitive subject when it comes to race for me. So when I see this type of stuff happening, I don't take it lightly. But Phil, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts, man?
So I just want to make sure I do have the right context. So when Shannon and Stephen A. Smith were talking about jealousy, did they bring up race, or are you saying people that are responding to them are bringing up race?
In social on social media, people are calling the people are calling this girl a thug. Even
Oh,
black
okay.
people
So
and white people are calling her a thug.
I
They're
got you.
saying jailhouse. This is not jailhouse thing. You
So
know,
so so this
yeah.
is how they get away with that kind of stuff. So I'll say this. I think, like I always say, two things can be true. I do think there are players in the WNBA that are jealous of Caitlin Clark. Full stop. I don't think the play that Miss Carter did on Caitlin had anything to do with racism. Full stop. Now, when it comes to people, specifically white people, using jailhouse, basketball, thug, things of that nature, that's their way of using the N
No, this
word
is
without
black
using
people.
the N
This
word.
is black people doing that.
Okay, well, that we can go there as well, but specifically for white people, that's their way of being able to say, "Well, I didn't say anything about race. You brought up race. I said they were acting like a thug, or they were acting like this." You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like using those code words. And then now, on the other side, with black people, we're just taught that anytime something that a black person does that's negative or aggressive or has anger is going to be something thuggish or ignorant, things of that nature. So you're always going to see those type of adjectives being used to describe black people when we commit wrongs.
Right. So if people are just joining the conversation today, I just want to make it clear. I'm not excusing the behavior of Kennedy Carter. All right, Kennedy Carter, she fouled this girl. This is not. It's not even. She fouled. Okay, it was a foul. Kennedy Carter fouled. But let me just
Yeah,
give you a little bit of
and
information
it should have been a flagrant one on the spot though. I will say that
on the
like
spot. Right.
Yeah.
that was not a basketball hard foul. That was a
That
she
was a
meant to do what
targeting
she
foul.
did. She
Right.
meant to do what she did.
Exactly. It was a targeting foul. It was a flagrant one, and she probably should have gotten ejected right away. It was targeting, right? Now it's also plausible to say that the coaches, I mean the coaches, the referees heard them jousting back and forth. Okay, that's also possible that the referees heard them jousting back and forth. They saw some of the little chippy shots that Kaylin was also taking, and when they saw this retaliation, they probably didn't think of it as egregious as in real time. Because keep in mind that when public opinion comes through, then people start to think of it in a whole different light.
Right.
Once the public got to this and started to treat it the way that they're seeing it, where you got Barstool Sports saying this is assault, and they're pouring kerosene on, and they're trying to flame this thing. People who are prominent, their voices are going to come in here, and they're going to try to get people on along racial lines to try to divide us. I don't want to keep having race talks all the time. If it's sports, let's try to keep it with sports. You see what I'm saying? Like Mike was saying earlier, like I'm adding to the problem. No, I want to make sure that the conversation is fair, because when you have a conversation with the big guys, these big platforms, they're only showing their audiences one side of this clip. They're not talking about how it became a basketball foul, even though it was a flagrant, but it was a basketball foul. We see this all the time, but they're not doing that. And the conversation is only one-sided. Now people are calling this young woman, they're calling her all kinds of names. We're not gonna excuse the behavior. And let me say this about her, what I've heard so far about her. She's an enforcer. She's a Draymond Green. This girl, her behavior, I've heard that she's gotten kicked off her a previous team for this behavior, for even fighting with her own teammates. She's gotten this is her like third team, all right? But that doesn't mean that she deserves to be called a thug or a criminal, right? She's an enforcer. She
Well,
is an enforcer.
you know what,
Go
Harry?
ahead.
Also, the people that are saying that, they've never, a lot of them probably have never played competitive basketball before. Listen, man, basketball in a lot of cases is a lot tougher than football because you have no guards on. You can get broken arm, broken bone, all kind of crazy stuff can happen. So people that make those comments and say that, she's a thug, or that's a thuggish act, they haven't got on the basketball. There's nothing nice about sport. People wanted to be like, oh, it's just a little nicey. It ain't like that. If you play any game competitively, it is not like that. Sports is a very violent thing. Soccer, football, hockey, they're very violent because the bodies are moving and clashing and everything. So people that say that, I don't agree with a lot of things that Draymond does and stuff like that. He goes a little bit over the top with it, definitely over the top. But come on, guys, you're playing a sport competitive. It's not like in when you were growing up and you're playing, intramural sports and like that. Everybody wins. Everybody don't win in professional when you're playing competitively in college and everything. Everybody is not a winner. Somebody's got to win
Yeah,
and somebody's got to lose.
All right, guys, let
and
me bring on Tim.
unfortunately,
He's been waiting. Tim Smith, what's up, man? Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
Yo, what it be? What it do? Eric?
What's
What's
up, man?
going
What's
on,
up? What's up
Tim?
with
What's
you?
up, tennis? What
So,
up, Phil?
Tim,
He's happy.
you wanna take Angela Graham's comment? You wanna? She said, "Who is she enforcing?" You know about basketball. You know about enforcers. You want to take that for me?
Uh, say that one more time.
Yeah, take the whole enforcer situation. She Angela
Mm-hmm.
Graham says, "Who is she enforcing?" I want you to answer that for me. Like you know about enforcers when they say, "Oh, yeah, that person is an enforcer." Like,
Right.
can you address
I mean,
the enforcers?
I
Who are
wouldn't, I wouldn't,
enforcers on
I
the
wouldn't.
field?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that she's an enforcer. I would just I would just say that she's a competitive person. Like she has that old school mentality, man. Just like Traymond Green. Traymond Green got that old school mentality.
Yeah.
All of us, we come from an era where it's not soft. You know what I mean? Everything
Mm-hmm.
the
Yeah,
sport has
definitely.
been totally revamped. Football, soft. Basketball, soft. They didn't made it soft. When you used to, and when we used to look at the NBA back in the day, when Jordan was playing, when
Mm.
Malone and them were playing,
Mm-hmm.
Bill
The
Laimbeer would
Pistons, the Detroit Pistons,
the
boy.
Detroit
Mm-hmm.
Bill
Yeah.
Laimbeer would kill you if you came through the middle. If you were
Mm,
playing New York, Charles Oakley, that's who
mm,
Draymond Green remind me of
mm,
nowadays. I feel
mm.
like it's more of trying to get into their head. And when it comes to the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, he's more like an Uncle Tom to me. I hate to
Yeah,
say that like that,
yeah, he was.
but
I
when
agree
he,
with that. Today, I'm agreeing with man. I'm
yeah,
telling you, that was
he's
an
an
Uncle
Uncle
Tom.
Tom.
That was some foolery stuff, man.
Yeah, because what he would say on ESPN platform, he's not now. It'll be totally different when nightfall and he's on the Stephen A. Smith show. He gonna say something totally different. He gonna probably cuss. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, now you done became a puppet. You letting them control you any kind of
Hmm.
way. Whatever happened to standing up for yourself, regardless of don't I put it to you like this: don't let the money control you.
So I'm gonna bring. Hey, Wild Dog, I got you in a second, but let me replay this real quick. I was asked to replay it. This is the second clip that's not circulating as heavily as the first clip. This is the origin of. It's probably something more than that happened, but this is what I got so far. Right here, you'll see Kaylin. You'll see Kaylin elbowing. I mean, she's not. You can see Kennedy's arm go up, and it's kind of locking in with Kaylin's arm. So Kaylin kind of like try to release her arm, and that's where the scuffle kind of like happened, where her elbow kind of went backwards, and I think somebody said it didn't really make contact, but it happened right there. That is where it happened, and then when you go further down to the other court or the other side of the court, we get that push right there that's happening. That push that push happens. So it's a sequence of activities or a sequence of events that led to this whole thing. Like right there, that push right there, you know, you can say that, that's a basketball play because she's trying to be aggressive and whatnot. So that's fine. But the whole idea of, this is like it was almost like it was an isolated situation where she just came out of nowhere and just pushed this girl. It's where I'm losing it. Go ahead,
Hey,
go
can
ahead,
I
Phil,
say
and then I'll
something before Phil say something real quick, Harry?
go ahead.
I'm sorry, Phil. I don't mean to interrupt you,
No,
but
you good. You
I
good.
want to say this real quick. If you pay attention to the way the sports are going nowadays,
Hmm.
us and I don't want to sound racially biased, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade.
Do it. Go ahead.
Uh, we have to fight so hard to get paid, but they advocate for who they want to be the face of something. And I hope you can read in between what I'm saying.
I mean, you can just say it. Who cares? Like,
Okay, yeah, like we
just say
have
it.
to fight hard to get. We can go out there. We can run for 1,500 yards. We can be the MVP of the league, but we have to fight to get a higher paycheck come the next season after our rookie seasons. So we have to sit out just to get paid. But certain individuals who front offices and league owners want to be the face, they get it with ease. So I feel
So
like when it comes to Caitlin Clark, you know what I mean? She's been this tremendous basketball player. I'm not gonna take that away from her. She's different. She's her for real. But
yeah, that's right.
I feel like when she dishes out um that that type of sportsmanship on the negative side of the house, it's like when we do it now, we call names, or you know we don't show good sportsmanship, and it's just crazy to me.
All right, go ahead, Phil.
No, so I just wanted to point out what I brought up Friday. It's all about, what I'm saying, your echo chambers on social media, because on my sports feed, I've been seeing this the video that shows kind of what happened before the push that Miss Carter did on Caitlyn. So I've been able to
Hmm.
see it. So I think you got to be mindful of that as well, because I was watching this video the other day on World Star, and this chick, she pulled up a video that was on TikTok, and the comment section said one thing in support of the young lady that was talking on the video. Her boyfriend put up the same exact video, and all the comments was talking about how the young lady was wrong in the video. So you got to keep in mind that the algorithm is already set up to divide us even more than necessarily the words that are being said about the topic.
Yeah.
That is true. Let me bring on Wild Dog. Wild Dog, welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for calling in. I appreciate you.
Hey, blessings, Harry B. Thank you for having me on. Thank you for having me on. This is
Thank you
definitely
for coming on, man.
a topic for me. If you can see what's behind me now, if you can see what's
Hmm.
behind me now, because I've been putting my Dallas Wings on tape. You know what I'm saying? So, I cover basketball. I've been, with basketball my whole life. And so I'm not someone new to the scene. I've been, part of a group that has tickets for the NBA and the WNBA, and Sister Wings opened up every chance I get. I've been at games. So, and the season opener, um, the Indiana Fever versus the Dallas Wings, I was in the house. I got my hands on the very last retail seat, which happened to be handicapped for me, and I was like, perfect, thank you, Lord, and I was there. So, any questions you got, anything that comes up in the chat, honestly, I got you. Honestly, no bias or anything. So,
So let me post it. Let me put this comment out there, and like y'all can handle it how y'all want to handle it. What do y'all think? Why do y'all think, like, in everything? And I'll make a correlation. Y'all tell me if this is a crazy correlation. Whenever black people do something in society, especially in America, we're proud to say the first black, like Obama was the first black president. Um, okay, we got Kamala Harrison. She was the first black vice president woman. So we're proud to say the first black. Now, what is it that white people, when are trying so hard to try to get someone, right, somebody who is white that represents them, to be like, whenever they get somebody, okay, we can go all the way to hip hop. Hip hop, when Eminem came, it was like they took a breath of fresh air, and it's like they took a sigh, like we finally got somebody that we can put up there, and no matter what Eminem does, he's going to get paid more than the black guys that have been here forever. But it's like white America wants to have their representative in these things, right? And it's almost like they can't wait to get somebody who they can all gather around. Is it the same thing that black people do when we say, the first black? Is it that thing for white people, saying we finally got somebody who's good enough that we can all gather behind? And is that what's
Yeah.
going on with Caitlin Clark? Is that what's going on?
Yes.
All right,
Simple.
Phil, you take it first.
No, just simple answer. Yes, I think people want to root for people that look like them. Like, I try not
Yeah.
to quote unquote teach my son about race and bring that stuff up all the time. But I mean, when we watch a show like he like watches this little dancing competition on Netflix or something like that, and he usually finds himself cheering for the black person on there. You know what I'm saying? And then you got like Issa Rae, when she was at some award show, she was like, "I'm rooting for everybody black." Duh, that's what we've been doing our whole life. And then obviously, like, if you look at a situation where there's a black quarterback going against a white quarterback in the Super Bowl. Perfect example when Cam Newton played against Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl. People that don't even care about football, all of them gravitated towards Peyton Manning. Why? He's the great white hope. You know what I'm saying? But people that look like ourselves, if we didn't have a dog in the fight, we rooted for Cam Newton. I think it's just the tribal nature of people. We want to root for people that look like us, and that's kind of what it boils down to.
So
You know
let
what?
me make it more, and let me color it up a little bit more, right? For pun intended. Let me color this up, this whole thing up, and then Willie, you can take it.
Yes, sir.
At the end of the day, right? Like people who want to root like us, we want to people who root like us. Whenever we get a Disney character that's black, like we had the Little Mermaid, she was black. We had everybody. We had all the white people that would come against us, and then they would start trying to like pound us. So if we all want somebody to look like us, and it's important for us to have a representative in these different areas, why I said that we are always wrong when we try to do that, when we try to get that. It's like white people want they want everything for themselves because they get the most angry, right? They get the most angry when a black person is stepping into a role that was occupied for the most part by a white person. And as soon as a black person steps into that role, like superhero movies, it's an ensemble movie. You have 5 characters, 5 main characters. The second a black person is going to become the lead of that movie, all of white America, let me not say all of white America, that's racist. A lot of white America would just jump up and try to attack us for no reason. It's like we shouldn't have any rights, or we shouldn't have any place taking the place of somebody that is usually white. But then now we like when we get the Kaylin Clarks, it's like they're fighting for their shine as well.
Yeah.
They fight for their Eminem in the hip hop community. It's like it's the same thing, but when it's our turn, we don't fight. Whenever they get a white person, we celebrate the white people, right? You get the Stephen A. Smiths, you got more black people defending Kaylin Clark now, right? Then you will ever get enough white people to just say, okay, look, let's embrace this. Maybe I'm being a little biased, but I'm a little emotional right now. But go ahead, Willie. I just wanted to make sure I add that into it. It's where we got. It's just a thing. Like it's like we can defend the white girl, you know what I'm saying? But then you don't get no prominent white person going out on a limb for black people when we're trying to get the Disney characters, when we're trying to do something. It's always us trying to like root for them. But when it's our turn, the whole community goes against us. Go ahead, Willie.
When we make a country album.
And you know what? To continue what you're saying on that, we all have some type of biases. Mine was when I wanted my first time picking up a tennis racket, I wanted to know who was out there that looked like me, because all I saw was just white America. Until I did some research and I found out about Arthur Ashe and the accomplishments that he did,
Right.
And so he was he actually beat my hero one time was Jimmy Connors, and he beat Jimmy in 1976 for the for Wimbledon. And so that encouraged me that, well, dang, somebody like me actually did it. But then I found out, there were more. So we all have these biases, and once you're always looking for somebody that looks like you. Have they done this before? And when you find them, you say, well, oh, heck, if they did it, I could do it. I'm now coaching tennis right now. Love it. Love coaching tennis. I'm a basketball player. All my life, we grew up playing basketball and football and baseball. That was it.
And I bet you probably have white kids on your that you coach, right?
Dude, I got all kinds of kids. My Indian parents, man, kids are from India, They're so happy when I work with their kids and everything. I went back a little bit a couple of days ago, and man, they just I'm climbing to be out there again, and they're climbing to have me out there. So it's amazing once you get out of your head and start dealing with the real world around you. It's like you start seeing the world differently. Man, I have all kinds of kids coming to my camps and stuff now.
So, awesome. So Wild Dog, I want you to, take it next and like why is it that we can like we're okay with white people leading and being all in the movies and taking leadership roles, but the second that we, try to get a little bit of this game, it's like, come on. But the burden of defense is always on black people. We should all gather around Caitlin Clark because it's the WNBA, and the WNBA needs this right now. The WNBA has been under for years, but we should be, Stephen A. Smith. I hate those guys and what they said today. I mean, it really bothered me, man. We're gonna deal with that in a second, but
I was gonna say, I
go
was
ahead.
gonna ask, what did they say specifically? Because I was actually working.
That'll be the next thing. We'll deal with that after this question.
Gotcha. Okay.
Go ahead, Wild Dog. You're muted. You got to unmute.
All right, there we go. So Harry, you really have to decide where you want to take it, because as an old school basketball head, you want to take it back to the days with George Mikan when black folks weren't allowed to play in professional basketball, or do you want to keep it real about what's going on right now? You have to make up your mind about where you want to take this. You want to take it back to the days with George Mikan and MLK, or you want to keep it 2024 and relevant to what's going on right now today?
Well, I mean, I think the conversation is the idea that we're okay. This is not all white people, by the way. Okay, there's a lot of white people that are like, "Yo, I love the Little Mermaid. I don't care. I'm glad that black people get an opportunity." And Hollywood is starting to look like, a mixed a mixed race. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying this is all white people, but I'm just saying, like, there's just for the life of me, we're trying to turn this thing into a thing that is not, that it isn't. But we can't ever gather around, we can't ever gather around like just a human. If we all recognize, all right, let me just say this to all white people. If we all recognize that having somebody that looks like you, that represents you, now you got people who were NASCAR fans. They were like the most countryest, whatever they will watch Gator. You know what I'm saying? Like they will watch Gator tossing, then they will watch basketball, because that right there is not my sport. Now they're watching basketball, right? I'm just saying. Yeah. Now they're watching basketball. The same thing happened when Coach Prime came over to
yes, exactly. There you go, Harry.
Came over.
You're on the right track.
Colorado. You got a bunch of black people who never watched college football before, never watched football. They came over. So we like somebody that represents us in different scenarios. Why is it not okay? So now you got Caitlin Clark. If you're okay with having somebody represent you, why do you push back on us? Whenever we say, let's diversify a little bit, we get so much pushback. That's selfish. Isn't that like just the word that I can think of is like selfish and hateful?
But Harry,
because you recognize the fact that you need a representative in different spaces. So when we're crying out, when we're asking y'all for a little bit of room at the table, and y'all don't want to give us a little bit of room, and you keep saying, "Oh, y'all are lazy. Pick up your." I mean, come on. Go ahead, Wild Dog. Go ahead, Wild Dog. Before I let Phil know what they said. Go ahead.
So I'm just saying, Harry, look, again, just like the bandwagon buffs, like you said with Coach Prime, and then his effect, right? It's a similar effect. His presence, you know what I'm saying, in college football, and then specifically now in the FBS, it's a game changer, right? You got people who love him, who have absolutely no clue about any sport, right? Who are coming in droves, right? And you got people who want to see him fall on his face because they feel like he needs to be humble. They use a soft word like humble, but really all they're doing is sugarcoating, right? Why do you want to see this grown man humble? Why do you want to see this Hall of Famer humble? When it comes to Caitlin Clark, right? She's one of the, on anybody's list, even on a hater's list, she's top 10 all-time college. Mm-hmm. On most people's list, she's top 5 all-time NCAA women's basketball. Okay? So with that, it's going to come some hate and some backlash. But I would like to reset the tone in myself, because this is what I've been trying to reiterate. Because I feel like the fan base for basketball, and including the WNBA, are dropping the ball. Because this, for me, is like a natural evolution and a blessing for the WNBA, because this is Bird and Magic 2.0. When Bird and Magic went head-to-head in the NCAA Men's Championship, that was by far the highest rated television broadcast ever. And it stayed in that spot for over 20 years. And even now, it got dethroned. It's still top 3 or top 5, right? And that carried over into the professional realm. And Bird and Magic set the stage and saved basketball. They set the stage for Michael Jordan and Nike to do what they did. So all this stuff going on, all this stuff talking about race, and people flexing and people being overprotective of Clark, over hating on Clark. For me, it's just nonsense, because I'm about our society, but I'm also about the sport of basketball, and especially I'm a supporter of the WNBA, right? And the time is now, because last year I couldn't give away, but years before I couldn't give away tickets to the WNBA game. And this year, my threads are full of people saying, when can we go with this and that, blah, blah. Let me know when you have tickets. You know?
So let's bring this in real quick.
What I'm trying to say here is we've been here before. There's no need to detract. We have a perfect map, a blueprint of this happening before in men's basketball, and it's the same blueprint naturally occurring here and now in this window for women's basketball. But I refuse to accept anything different than this is Bird and Magic 2.0.
But Wild Dog, can we also acknowledge that race did play a role in why it was so big, though?
Yeah, but it is what it is. But you can look hindsight, look what the end result is.
Right. I hear you. But you said
yeah, Bird, but his coach Casey Jones was black.
Okay, cool. But all of
Magic Johnson. Oh, I'm
you're
rolling
missing
Magic
my
Johnson.
point.
Roll with the brother, but his coach was white. So I'm just
I can tell you're passionate about this.
We can look at it and get done with the nonsense. And the media, I'm holding the media responsible. I'm holding my media friends to the fire as we speak, because it's nonsense. Because you can look at hindsight and see exactly what's happened before and exactly what the result can be. But if you mess it up, where does that take us? Where does that take our daughters, our sisters, our cousins that want a ball? I got a spiritual niece. She's playing in Sweden. She didn't have any other choice. That was her best option, was to leave her country and go play in Sweden.
It be like that sometimes.
You know,
I was just hold on, guys.
Go ahead.
I want to make sure that we understand that. I know everybody loves Caitlin Clark and they want to paint this Caitlin Clark is an angel situation. I'm not trying to pour flame on the fire or whatever, but watch this play. Okay, watch at the top of your screen right there. Number 14 and number 20, I guess she's 22. Right here at the top of your screen, where my cursor is, they got a little shoving match going on, and boom. All right.
This is nothing new though, Harry. Like if you watch basketball, if you watch women's basketball, this is nothing new though. I'm saying like this has been circulating. This video has been out since it's been out, so it's not like people are just not discovering it, or they shouldn't be.
I know that, but we remember we got to set the precedence and we got to set the stage for people to understand, because there are new people in WNBA basketball. A lot of, like I told you, those Gator throwers and those people that, those NASCAR fans that are now over to the WNBA, a lot of them, I ain't gonna paint all of them, but a lot of them don't really understand basketball and how competitive it is. You see what I'm saying? And
they need to be asking questions and observing before they strike the judgment.
That's what I'm saying. So I want to make sure that I'm sending this message. I'm sending this message very clear to that group of people, just like the BWBs. I'm sending a message to to that group, to their BWB, right? To their group, to say, hey, listen, Jimbo. Hey, listen, Gregory's. Listen, all of y'all. It's a competitive sport, and women are just as competitive. So if we look at this, we're not going to paint Kaylin as a thug for doing this. You see what I'm saying? We're not going to call Kaylin a thug. I'm trying to drive this message home. I'm not calling Kaylin a thug for doing that. That's competitive basketball. But that's the difference between when we deal with this type of stuff and when y'all deal with this type of stuff. Because the second you see that hip check, what you want to say immediately is, she's a thug. She just pushed a little white girl.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to make sure that we don't have that narrative out there. Oh my God, look at this big black girl pushing that little white girl. I want us to have conversations, okay? I want us to be able to have conversations that are correct. And unfortunately, guys, our traditional media, First Take, Stephen S. freaking Smith, Shannon freaking Sharp, unfortunately, they are bought. Okay? And they would not treat this conversation the way that it needed to be treated so that it can put everybody at rest and make sure that they're treated and make sure that everybody goes away saying, oh, okay, I get it now. I understand. These girls are just competitive. Oh, she did push her before. That. Okay, now let me for Phil. You can watch the First Take like when you get a second. Just go watch the first. Pull up the First Take thing. ESPN did delete it, but
I trust that you can give me a fair enough summary of what was said. Yeah.
All right. So when Molly asked them, when Molly put the situation out, all right, the very first thing that came out of their mouth is Stephen A. Smith went on a 3-minute rant about he listed some specs or some I can't think of the word right now. Some stats. See, right. He listed, because I'm so emotional right now. I'm telling you, this is a very sensitive topic for me. So he listed some stats and he went to this long rant. The very first thing that he said was that these girls that Kaylin Clark is a white girl, that they're trying to make her the face of basketball, and everybody needs to appreciate the fact that she is the golden ticket, she's the golden girl, and let her, you know what I'm saying, and stop hating on her. And that everybody else, I'm not doing no justice to what he said, but and that there are people in the WNBA that are jealous of her. Shannon Sharp did the same thing. He went along the same talking line. And I'm like, it sounds like something that somebody told you to say. It doesn't sound like something you would say on your podcast, the Stephen A. Smith podcast. Because when the situation happened with there was a situation where there was a situation where Stephen A. Smith had to address something that was discussed in the media, where a rapper the Cameron situation with CNN, right? Where he went on his podcast to try to describe the situation. A rapper had came out and says he's okay with how Cameron handled the situation, and how Cameron went on there. He was drinking mill drinks or whatever to get his mans up because he had a date and all of that. So he went on there and he said those things. Right? So the rapper was like, I agree with Cameron. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all try to put Diddy under the bus, and he wasn't riding with y'all. So the way that Stephen A. Smith handles that on his show, he's like, yeah, I'm not gonna disparage my brothers. I'm not gonna say nothing negative. So he handled it the way that you should handle situations that you know people, the relationships are there, and people are gonna have biased opinions. But on his national television show, he went out there and he literally said that everybody was jealous of this girl, and that's why it happened. And then surely he was like, "Oh yeah, but I know that people are saying that, oh, like that Kaylin elbowed the girl. I know that, but they're still jealous." I'm like,
let's break that
situation?
down. Let's break it down piece by piece. Do you think that players are jealous of Caitlin Clark?
So okay, let me make sure. Hold on, let me make sure I handle this the correct way. The way that Stephen A. Smith, with his bought freaking brain.
No, I want to know I want to know how you feel. I want to know.
I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you right now. This is how he should handle this situation. You play both clips. and you make sure that you handle it, and you say, okay,
Yes.
this is what's happening. You play
Yes.
both clips, and you say, just like the way that I did it. I said, I want you to take a look at this clip, the one that's circulating on social media and everybody have an opinion about. But I also want you to take a look at this clip and the events that led up to this. So
But right now, I'm not
that's
even talking about the clip, though. I'm just simply saying.
but I'm
do
about
you
to tell
think
you, I'm about to land this plane. Let me land the plane. You asked me the question, I'm going to land it in the way that I think it should be handled, right? So when you start talking, then you can now you get in your bag and you say, while I am aware that there are people that will be jealous of this girl, right? While she's young, she's white, she's making a lot of money. There have been black women, okay, and white women that have paid their dues when WNBA was not, when nobody was paying attention to the WNBA. While I'm aware that those women pay the price, and some people are going to feel like they're being shaded because this girl is getting a lot of attention. This was a basketball retaliation play. You see what I did there?
But you also brought up race, though.
But I'm trying to tell you, this is if
But
race
you're
is
trying to get
involved
us
because
away
she's
from
white.
bringing up race, though. But I'm saying
Race,
you're trying to get us away from talking about race. But in your example of saying that this is how Stephen A. should have handled it, you still did bring up race.
no, but let me tell you, that's why I say you got to watch the clip when you get a chance. In
Okay.
that clip, they said that the reason why they're leading with the whole idea of the conversation with this basketball situation, they're saying that the social media has already talked about this. A lot of people have opinions about it already, and people are taking it different kinds of ways already. So the conversation of race has already been out there. When Barstool Sports talked about it, they also acknowledged that there was a racial factor to it. You understand what I'm saying? So they
Of course, it's
understood that there
America.
has been racial tensions online, and this is the reason what caused them to bring this up to lead their show off for the day. That's what I'm saying. So the whole idea of, oh, this is everybody saying, oh, because you got
So
one
race
group
was a
of people.
part. So race was a part of the question. He didn't just bring it in just because he wanted to talk about race. That's what you're saying. Because you're saying they addressed the fact that some of the racial aspect of this situation has come into play. So if
They did
they've
not
already
address
brought up
a racial aspect. The way that they handled the situation made the divide even more, because there is already a race conversation online. We as the people, we as not the big media, we as the people have already had a divide online where you have people calling her a thug. We are already having that conversation online. So I'm saying when you go out there to discuss it on your major network, do not take sides. If you
and that's
take
why I'm trying to break
sides,
it down piece by piece.
right? That's what
That's
I'm
why I'm
saying.
just
If
but
because
I'm
he
just
took
asking a simple
sides,
question.
but I'm answering the question. I'm saying we were talking about race. The media, the social media was already having a divide about race. I'm saying that, right? I'm not saying they talked about race.
Mhm.
When they went on their show, they started to talk about how these young women are jealous, or these women are jealous. Some of them are jealous,
Okay, so let's take
right?
that one point. That one point right there. Some women are jealous. Let's start right there. Is that a true
Okay.
statement? I think we can agree that's a true statement. I'm trying to see at
No, you
what
cannot
point
agree
did
that
it.
that's a true statement, because you haven't done the research to say that they are jealous. When you say these
Okay,
women are jealous, then what you're doing, Phil,
I didn't
what you're
say all.
doing
I
is
said some.
right, but you don't know that. You
Okay,
don't know that. Nobody knows that. But what I'm saying, when you lead with that, what it does is saying that play that we're talking about right now was because of jealousy. That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to make sure that we understand. I'm saying if we lead and said these women were jealous, and you don't play both clips, then people have, because you got to keep in mind the reason why they brought it up. People have already made up their mind that these girls are thugs. Why would it be talking to this girl? Why would it be talking to Caitlyn? The narrative is already online. So when you come on Monday and you're gonna have a television show, when you lean into the jealousy thing, is only going to perpetuate the things that people have been talking about and come against Kennedy and start calling her a thug even more. It was an assault. That's what Barstool Sports, they tweeted that. They said this is an assault. What are those key words that you hear when you start seeing the racial divide? It's an assault. A basketball hip check being described as an assault? That's where I'm at with it. I'm saying when they started the go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just gonna say I understand where you're coming from and the angle that you're taking on it. It no different than Callan. I mean Kaepernick. You know, when he took a stance,
yep,
they blackballed him.
Every one of them.
You know what I mean? They blackballed him. Now the online conversation is at like 65 or 70 degrees. But when Stephen A. Smith go on national television on that network that he's on, he raises the temperature to 100 degrees.
Exactly.
So now everybody,
because he took sides.
He took sides. So he magnified the conversation times 10
on national television. And then he had one black girl on there trying to defend. Go ahead.
No, that's what I was about to say. When Monica McNutt called him out, that's really what made his rounds on the internet, because I saw that clip. I never saw the original clip of him waxing poetic, him and Shannon Sharp. I saw what Monica McNutt was like. Respectfully, Stephen, but with your platform, you could have been talking about the WNBA 3 years ago. So, like, just that one clip let me know that she was already tired of his BS, so she had probably already been giving it to him. So, for me, that's what I saw go around the internet, was her standing up against him. I didn't see his original statement.
Phil, that's not the point. This is the point. The point is, whenever, like, okay, so it's like, when you're aware of how the media tries to treat situations to try to, put people against each other, when you're aware of that, you'll know how they play these little games, right?
And I'm aware of your point. I totally understand where you're coming from.
But you know what? But
you'll get people like Barstools to tweet assault. You'll get Stephen A. Smith and the cones, Stephen A. Smith and the cones, Shannon Sharp, and I'm calling y'all cones. You'll get those cooneries, right? You will get them to go on there, and they'll say stuff like they're jealous. All right? We all know that the WNBA has struggled for years before Caitlin Clark arrived. They didn't have no chartered planes. We know the stats. So you want to kill us with stats and say all of these things. You want to tell us who's selling out the stadium. You want to tell us how many times the games have been sold out since Caitlin Clark arrived. But you're not dealing with this thing the way that you're supposed to, with the responsibility that you're supposed to deal with it, so that the fire that you're flaming, so that the fire that's being flamed online can be put out, or at least so people can rest and go back into their own corners, having a strong understanding of the whole entire situation, so that they can't continue their attack on this a young black woman. So you only play one clip. You play the clip that's circulating. You did not, and then you mention in your verbal vomiting. You only mention, oh yeah, and I'm aware of people saying that there was an elbow that was thrown, and then you go on by, and then you get off of it real quick and say that they're jealous, and they should bow down to Caitlin because she's the golden ticket.
Okay, stop. Okay, right there. Is that a true statement that right now Caitlin Clark is the golden ticket right now for the WNBA? Is that that specific? No. Is that specific statement? Is that
after that point, Phil? I know what you're doing. After the point, after he debacled this whole situation, after he has already flamed the whole racial conversation, after he has already blamed the entire WNBA for being jealous of this young white girl who's making more money, after he has done that, everything else that he said, he can eat it. Everything.
But if he says 2 + 2 is 4, then he's still right though. So all I'm trying to do is break down everything that we disagree on. I'm trying to figure out what we agree on and what we do agree on. And so I think it's a fair statement to say that Caitlin Clark is the meal ticket
But
right now for
but
the
when you
WNBA.
assume, when your assumption by saying that they are jealous, when you're trying to associate the play that happened with jealousy, you didn't play both clips for you to see
You're right. We don't
why
know
she
whether it
did
was
that.
jealousy or not.
Right.
You-
You don't know
But
whether
as
it
a
was jealousy or
whole,
not. But now, because anything that happens with Kaylin, everybody's gonna take the line of this being a jealousy thing.
but I'm
That's
not
what
even talking
everybody's
about the
doing. You
foul.
play both clips so that you don't start with jealousy. You play both clips.
I'm not
If
talking
you
about
play
the
both
foul at
clips, we
all.
eliminate jealousy.
I'm not talking about the foul at all. I'm just simply asking about the statement, or well, yeah, the statement that he's making, saying that there are women that are jealous of Caitlin Clark in the WNBA.
Whether the
Even
statement
if
is
it,
real or not, whether it's true or not,
okay.
is irrelevant in the situation. Is irrelevant because you can't lead with that because it was not a
So
jealousy
we,
situation.
so
It
I'm
was
just trying to
irrelevant.
find something that we can, where we agree on his statement, where we disagree on the statement,
We
and
disagree
go
with his
piece by
statement
piece like that.
because this is
But
not a jealous.
it sounds like you disagree with the statement because he didn't present it the way you wanted him to. Because you're saying he shouldn't have brought up race first and then want to talk about them being jealous. So it seems
He
like
didn't
if he
bring up
ordered it the
race.
right way and
I
brought up,
never said he's not bringing up race. I'm saying we're talking about race online. I never said he brought up race. I said he started off with saying jealousy,
so
and
so
that
we shouldn't
jealousy
bring
line
up
is
race
taking
into the
sides.
conversation then. So we
Huh?
shouldn't bring it up if
What do you
he's
mean I
not
shouldn't bring
bringing
it
up.
up? I'm bringing it up because I showed you at the beginning of the show that people are calling this girl a thug. That's a race
That's
situation.
Okay, but
that's the point of
that's
issue
when
is
you
that
then that's when
the
you
use of
educate
the
them and say this is basketball. These type of things happen.
But that's what we're
But
Obviously, yeah,
see,
doing.
that's a
So
no,
dog. Obviously, that's a
but
dog whistle, but we don't have to give power to that.
and
but see, this is what people want to hear. They want to hear stuff like that. That's why we're talking about it now because the people want to hear that she's a thug, no matter what she does. So
right.
we're giving power to that right now, Bobby. That's what they want to hear, Harry. That's why they show us here. We talk about it. We talk about this. You're gonna get more clicks. At the
No,
end of
no,
the
no. I
day,
don't know
this
what
is
angle you're taking, Willie. Hold on. Let me clear that up because you're taking a weird angle I don't like. I'm not trying to do this for clicks. Okay, just understand something,
I
please.
didn't say you were. I didn't say you
Well, yeah,
were. I
but I mean,
wasn't.
you're kind of explaining it in a way I don't like. I want you to understand something. Once the conversation got to social media, it took a racial tone. When people started to make it about race, people started to call this girl names, right?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I'm trying to explain to you that at the end of the day, we're taking the conversation off on social media and we're saying it's heated right now. So if you get a prominent black person to come into the conversation who has a big loudspeaker, who has this big platform, what he's
Exactly.
supposed to do is not to do this. What D Square say is that he made a broad assumption that the WNBA players are all jealous of Kaylin, you know, when it was just an isolated basketball situation. So when you said once you say jealousy, it's going to play into those people that the NASCAR people, their BWBs is going to play into them, and they're going to say, "See, there you go." Even their people are saying that it was a jealousy thing. Even their people are saying. Even you got Stephen A. Smith, who's a prominent sports talker, saying they're right. He believes what we believe that they're jealous of this girl. That's what I'm trying to paint the picture and saying once he says that, it plays into the general
Public.
narrative that's out there, the general public, and says, and it tells us that they are right. That when you're jealous of this girl because she's white and she's getting paid and she's good, it plays into their narrative, and they can call her thug, they can call her whatever name, and it's going to play right into their hands. But
Yes,
that's
he
what
he
happened.
created he created a narrative for everybody to pay attention to. So every time she get filed, whether it's hard or not, people are gonna say that
It's
individual
jealousy.
is jealousy.
yeah,
They jealous of her. They trying to hurt her. They trying to strip her
it,
career from her. And by
yeah.
Stephen A. Smith having the platform that he has, his voice is a lot louder than the people that's having that conversation on social media. Is what Harry's saying. his voice is going to spread farther than that small conversation that they were having on social media.
Go ahead, Wild Dog.
Because I feel what I really just want to say is that it would just, for my media friends, I just felt like it was highly inflammatory. You got to be able to read the room, right? You got to be able to read what's going on, right? If that statement was made at the very beginning of the season, then it may have not have had the same impact as it did with so much that's already going on. Because like you explained, Harry, this player does have a history of what the league would consider thug-like behavior. But using that word with the wave of racial, overtones and racial, comments and social media overtones, being, the backlash coming racially, that's the wrong word to use. These inflammatory words, these inflammatory positions, you got to be more responsible, right? Because we know we got people who don't know anything about sports at all who are drawn now to the sport. And we know what this is like. They're not educated and they're getting miseducated and they're just running on emotion and on what's natural for people to draw to. So in this country, we know there's racism. It's sugar-coated. It's slid under the table, depending on what part of the country you're from, right? So there's no one to be surprised, but we have to deal with it. We have to deal with it, understanding and knowing the nature and history of this country, right?
Right.
But that's why I was like, which way do you want to go with it? Because I would prefer to keep it about sports. Specifically, I'd rather keep it about basketball and that we've been here before and that the WNBA and the players continue to drop the ball because this is a Clark Reese show. Everybody wants to talk about what Clark is doing for the game. I'll fall right into what Phil's going at a bit because why are we talking about Reese? Why did the WNBA take his position, with not, making sure, Reese's games were going to be on national TV? Because Reese is selling out games too. Wherever the Indiana Fever go, they're selling out. Wherever the Chicago Sky go, they're selling out. Why are we missing the boat when we've been here before? Right? So a thug is a thug. This thug player who's had issues with the league, been out of the league and back in the league for being excessive enforcer, that just is what it is. That's a basketball player who found their niche and deals with it, like Dennis Rodman type. We've seen it before. It's nothing new.
Hey,
and
it's
it's
no
just a
different than
basketball
hockey.
play.
And
It's
it's
a
no different
basketball
than
play.
hockey.
Now, when you go into race, that just is what it is when we're dealing with this country. You go to a whole other country. You go to Central America. You go somewhere else, right? You're just an American, right? But here, we got our own issues. And Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp are well aware of the issues that this country has. So when we're talking about certain situations, you have to be responsible. Like you're saying, Harry, you have to be responsible.
Right.
It's too late. And at this point, Harry, it's too late to nip it in the bud. I've done the best I can to nip it in the bud. It's too late to nip it in the bud, right? All I can do is say what I have to say. And this is about basketball. This is just a basketball player. These are all basketball moves. There's nothing overt, right?
Exactly.
There's players that are jealous of Clark. They're jealous of Reese because they're new. Why are these new players, these rookies, getting all this attention? When I've been grinding and I've been winning, but all of a sudden nowadays, it's timing. It
That's
wasn't
the same
your
thing that
time.
Patrick Beverly did.
It wasn't for you.
That matchup.
All right, Wild Dog, wrap it
but
up so
then-
somebody else can take it.
Let me wrap it up. But then you also have players who are celebrating. You have players who are like, yes, finally, we're going to get the shine and the sponsorships and the revenue that we've been complaining about. And I don't care if it takes two rookies, you know what I'm saying, to bring it. Our time is now, and they're rolling with it. So you got it on both sides.
But Wilder, I have a question for you. Well, a statement and a question. That just stems back from college. They want Kaylin Clark to win so bad. This country does.
But that's
because she couldn't
misguided
do it.
because you're missing half the picture. It's not just Clark. If you want the full benefit, it's Clark and Reese, just like it was Bird and Magic.
No.
We've been here before.
No.
Yes.
I know
We've
what
been here
you're saying,
before.
but what I'm
History
saying
repeats
is,
itself.
Hold on,
right,
Wild Dog.
but
Hold on,
what
Wild
I'm
Dog.
saying is, Caitlin Clark. First of all, let me put this out there. Caitlin Clark is an outstanding player. Number one, she is the female version of Steph Curry to me.
Yes.
Right. So, but what I'm saying is, she failed in 2023 to LSU. She failed in 2024 to South Carolina. They want her to win so bad. Who controls the narrative? Who controls the front offices? Are they
Mhm.
us? Are
The
they us,
endorsement.
Wild Dog?
It's not.
But look,
Who controls the? No. Hold on. Before you say something, who controls the top, the endorsements, the front offices, the ownerships of these teams? Are they us? Is what I'm asking. That's a yes or no question.
We don't.
I'm
who
asking.
you said who controls it? He says a yes or no question. I'm
Yeah,
lost.
it's a yes or no question.
He said, "Is it
Okay.
us or is it us?" He
Is
said.
it us as African Americans or they're Caucasians that own these teams?
Oh, it's predominantly Caucasians.
Okay. The
And
percentages
the
is what
WNBA
is
commissioner is also Caucasian,
okay.
and they're
So
and they're all fumbling the ball because
okay.
it's a Clark Reese show.
So that's what I'm getting at. They want
But
her.
also as a Colorado Buff fan, you understand what it means to lose and still be winning.
Yes.
Do you not? You understand what it means to technically lose or be a loser, like somebody said in the chat, but be winning in every other way.
Exactly.
It's no different with Caitlin Clark.
Right. That's what. But
You
what I'm
familiar
saying,
with this, right?
Yes, sir, I am.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, you used you made the statement of Clark Angel Reese, right? I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yes.
Where I'm going. Okay.
I'll
And
ask
you
the
made-
question though.
and-
Let me ask
huh?
that question.
Okay, go ahead.
Wild Dog, do you believe that the powers that be, right? Do you believe that they're pushing the same? They're pushing Clark as much as they're pushing Reese?
No, they're not. These old white people fumbling the ball.
They've done that all our lives.
We finally get here, and they fumbling the ball. Even though basketball, the history of basketball, we've been here before, and it's not just because I'm black. It's all my basketball heads, white, black, Hispanic. I'm in Texas. We're all pulling our hair out. Like, what are they doing? Our sport is about to set on fire. What are they doing? Why are they fumbling the ball? Right?
But
Right.
that's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
We're trying to
Oh, go
let
ahead.
you
I
know.
understand that, but people gonna be people.
Hey,
When you run a business, you have to be competent. You have to be competent. It's the difference between being racist and being competent.
One second.
I'm talking about incompetency. I'm talking about incompetency. Y'all keep want to make it about race. I'm not. I push it back. I'm talking about being incompetent.
But let me get a word through. So listen, whether it's about race or not, there's a group of a big who pays for tickets for the most part. Let's take this route. Who really buys tickets and who really goes out? It's white people, right?
No. Oh no. Let me stop you right there. It's old men like me. Old white men, old black men, old Hispanic men that are paying.
That's incorrect, Wild Dog. You're incorrect.
Caucasians.
I'm at games.
But there's
I'm at games.
I know there's a
few.
few.
You're at games, Wild Dog, because you like the game. You are at games.
I'm at the
But
game.
look at the white. Look at the white crowd when the television
it's
pans.
old men, regardless of race. It's old men. It's old men who are paying the bill. It's old men who are funding the NBA, and it's old men who are funding the WNBA.
Yeah, Wild Dog. Everywhere I go, I've been the minority.
That's incorrect, Wild Dog. You're not correct. I'm trying to tell you.
I know the numbers. I see the numbers every year. It's old men.
Show me the numbers, Wild Dog. Show me the numbers. Wild Dog, show me the numbers that is
I'll send them to you.
majority black that are at those games.
Every single year,
not
over
correct.
and over, it's old men of different backgrounds, just old men
That's
who
not
are the
correct.
ones putting the bill for the WNBA.
That's not correct. Wild
That's
Dog.
a fact, Jack. Every single
That's
year,
not a fact.
over and over. So they market
That's
to
not a
old
fact.
men, white, black, no matter. Men over
not a
40.
fact.
That's who's
When
funding
I watch
the
WNBA games, you know
NBA.
what I see? I see a bunch of like they'll probably, I don't know if they'll bust in these kids. I see a bunch of young kids. I see a bunch of moms. I see a bunch of
Who's paying for it, Harry? Don't be naive. Who's paying for it? Those kids ain't paying for that. Who are the season ticket holders? Who's paying for it? Come on, dog.
So you mean to tell me the old white men are paying for it?
Hey, I got some stats real quick.
Yeah, why don't you capping? Why don't you capping?
I'm not capping. I'm at the games.
I don't care. That's you.
I
said one black guy didn't go to the games. Why don't stop yelling?
Some stats.
Calm down.
I'm in Dallas. I'm surrounded by black season ticket holders.
Calm down. Stop screaming. It's okay. We understand you are at the game, Wild Dog. Calm down. One black guy shows up. It's not enough.
I'll fly you down, Harry, and you'll eat your words.
I'll
fly you down. We'll go to a game. I'll fly you down. You'll eat your words.
But calm down, Wild Dog.
You'll eat your words. You'll eat your words. It's old men.
Wild Dog.
Come on, man.
Don't worry. We deal with data on TLP Sports. Let's check the data, Wild Dog. Go ahead. Go ahead, Phil.
so this the title
I'm so
of
glad
this,
I finally got Wild Dog on something he's passionate about. That's what's up.
This is now. This is not ticket purchase. I'm trying to find ticket purchases, but I did want to put this data out here. Y'all can discuss it while I find the numbers on tickets. But it said level of interest in WNBA in the United States as of March 23rd. March 2023 by gender. So this was last year. This is only by gender. So we're gonna start with the females. 77% said not a fan. 19% said casual fan. 4% said avid fan. That was for females.
Okay.
For males, 60% said not a fan. 29% said casual fan, 11% said avid fan. So for the males, they almost triple the percentage of women that were polled on their interest in the WNBA. So that does lend some credence to what Wild Dog is saying. I wasn't trying to support him or discredit him. I'm just giving you the data. Harry, I'm going to email it to you in just a second.
Men. He said black men.
He said old black men too.
He said old men in general. But at any rate,
I'm gonna black men.
Yeah. Black and white. He said both.
He said old black men.
We was talking
Roll back
about
the tape.
who we were talking about the owners, like the people.
I know, but his point was that there is a high interest from men to support the WNBA.
Okay, first of all,
we're talking about African American. I mean, how many African Americans you see?
Keep moving the goalposts. Put 3 or 4
No.
Listen,
I found the stats, but it won't let me. It won't let me.
Phil, stop, Phil, stop.
Okay, I got you.
We cannot talk about interest. We gotta talk about ticket sales. Okay.
I told you, Harry, the ticket sales. I'm a season ticket holder. We see the numbers every year. It's old men, dog.
Wild Dog is one
basketball period.
Calm down.
Basketball period. In America, global, it's old men that fund basketball. Period.
I wonder
period,
why.
Harry. In the NBA, in the WNBA, in Europe, it's old men. And in this country, white, black, Hispanic, Native,
let me know when you're done.
Right, it's all old men dragging their families, dragging their wives, funding it. Guess who's funding it? That's who funds sports. Old men.
Are you done? Okay. Now that Wild Dog is done, this was what the issue was. We said that when you look in the crowd, when the television pans, right, who are you going to see in that stadium? whether it's old white men paying for those tickets for their young white kids to go to those games, who are you going to see? What color do you see on your television screen? What is the answer to that, dog? You don't have to scream that. Tell me, what color do you see when the television pans around the stadium?
I don't have to watch TV. I'm at the games. It's eclectic. We got everybody. And maybe it's just because I'm in Texas. I did clarify. I'm in Texas. I'm in Dallas, Texas. When I look to my left, when I look to my left,
what color do you see when the television pans around the stadiums?
White, black, brown, red. To my left is a white couple. To my right is a black couple.
I have pushback to that, Wild Dog.
Down below me is a 6-member Hispanic family.
Okay, so look,
I disagree.
Can I help you out just a little bit?
And I got first-hand experience.
Oh my gosh.
Okay,
majority.
Hey, Harry, let me help you out real quick with this one. Wild Dog.
Okay. But you go ahead on with it, but you can't deny the fact.
Hold on, Wild Dog. Hold on. Okay, you're in Dallas.
Go ahead and do some screenshots of games. But it has nothing to do with my game experience for years. Not just one game, not just one season.
Well, you gotta let other people talk,
I'm not knocking you as a season ticket holder to the
black people don't go to games.
Basketball fans. Basketball is not a black sport, really.
Hey,
really,
Wild Dog.
Phil, go look at some numbers. How many of those players are black?
Wild Dog, you gotta let people talk, bro. You can't just keep screaming on top of all the audio.
What I'm saying is the Wings. I'm in Dallas too. I go to those games as well. I've been to those games as well. What that you talking about? Now those tickets are a lot cheaper than a Dallas Mavericks game. An NBA game, and I feel like me and you can both agree on that because I know how much those tickets cost. And you know what I mean? If you're a season ticket holder at a Dallas Wings game versus a ticket holder at a Mavericks game, it's different. Those prices are way higher. So yes, you're going to see a lot more blacks maybe sitting down lower at a Wings game versus going to a Mavericks game. Now, for the record, if you go to this Mavericks game, that playoff game that they just had against the Wolves, right? To sit down there, not even courtside, I'm talking maybe come up about 5 rows. Those tickets were almost $10,000 a ticket.
Yeah.
You did not see no African Americans in those sections, bro.
We saw
not
Pat
at
Mahomes.
all.
We saw Pat Mahomes. He black. Pat Mahomes is
black. But Patrick Mahomes is the quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs too.
73%.
I mean,
hey Tim, I'm just being silly, Tim. Don't mind me. I'm just being silly.
I know what you're talking about, but I'm just saying, like, those sports games, like you go to a Cowboys game, those tickets that's around the arena, those are $10,000 suites. Now on that issue, the Hispanics run a lot of that because they pitch in together to buy those season tickets.
Yeah,
so you'll see a lot more Hispanics around the bottom low level of the Cowboys game. But when it comes to that Mavericks game, at the AA Center, it's Caucasians, bro.
Okay, hold on.
And
let's hit Wild Dog with some numbers. Let's hit Wild Dog where it hurts. Hey, Wild Dog, do you know what the average Black American income is in America? Let's hit Wild Dog where it hurts.
What are we talking about?
Individual or family?
Tim just answered the question for you. Tim just answered the question for you. I'm part of a group. It ain't me. If I was on my own, I wouldn't be at games. I'd be watching TV. So it doesn't matter about your financial status. If you're smart and can network, you'll be part of a ticket group and get into games. Right, Tim answered that. Tim answered that for you, not me. Tim, answer that for
Okay.
you, not me.
Wild dog. Okay, wild dog. We gotta get some control here. Okay, so listen.
Are you sure?
Listen, the average Black American home, all right. I want to say the thing that's on the screen, the stats that's on the screen, that's from Phil. Phil, can you do me a favor and find the income variations in the different homes? It's something like this, if you can find it. The reason why I said what I said was because when you go to concerts, when you go to different concerts and you go to the stadiums, all right, the numbers are, I mean, it's not even a secret, Wild Dog. It's not a secret. I'm not trying to come against you and think, I'm not
No,
saying Wild Dog.
Harry,
Let me finish,
Harry.
Wild Dog. Wild Dog, you come on. Let me finish the thought. I'll let you speak. I'm not trying to say Wild Dog and his boys don't go to games, and when you get Black people, that's not the general conversation is not about does Wild Dog go to games or does he see Black people? Okay, this is not the Sixth Sense. I see Black people. It's not that. I'm saying I'm talking about. Wild Dog. I'm talking about Gen Pop, okay? I'm talking about the conversation is going to general pop. I can't even finish, man. You're silly. I'm talking about general population, okay? So the numbers on your screen, all right? Phil, you want to talk? You want to give us what these numbers represent?
Yeah, so that goes back to what I was giving you about the interest based off of the gender or sex or whatever the correct terminology is. So with this one, it breaks it
Right.
down with race. So that means 73% are not fans that are white, 21% are casual fans, only 6% avid. Now, to Wild Dog's point, the Hispanics seem to be more fans than the whites are because they almost double them with the avid fan and are 2% more in casual fan. And then blacks again, we're in front. 43% casual fan and 14% avid fan. So that means we double our white counterparts when it comes to support for the WNBA. And then other would be Asian, Indian, things of that nature. That's 3% avid fan, 24% casual fan, and 73% not a fan.
All right. So now this is how it breaks down when it comes to household incomes. Okay. When it comes to household incomes, give me a second. When it comes to household incomes, let's see. Okay, I'm trying to send this to my computer. Asians. All right. In 2022, Asian households had the highest medium household income, 108.7K. White non-Hispanic, 81.06K. Two or more races, 69.47K. We go to Hispanics, or 62.8K. Blacks are 52.86K. So American Indian and Alaska Native, 52. So the blacks are at the bottom of the household income. So historically, what I've been trying to, the point that I was trying to make is that historically, because black household incomes are amongst is at the bottom of most demographics. When it comes to that, that this is the reason why a lot of us cannot afford tickets. Yeah, you're talking about you should be smart and stuff like that. I get it, right? But I'm saying historically, because our household incomes are not as much, that's why when you go to the stadium, when they pan around, you'll see white faces for the most part, whether it's white men buying those tickets or not, white old men buying those tickets or not. Your point taken about men paying for those tickets, duh.
Hey,
it's a man's world.
but Harry, let's be honest though. Them
But
tickets to the
Harry,
WNBA
why did
games
you
are
pull up
dirt
the
cheap.
numbers about
White
consumer
man's
spending?
income.
Why did you
Hold
spend?
up.
Why did you pull up the numbers about consumer spending?
Because we are consumers and we spend.
No, black folks spend at a much higher rate than any
That's
other
what I'm
race.
saying. That's what I'm saying. We are
Black folks
consumers
spend
and
more
we
money.
spend. I know. We're consumers.
We're the
No, but
smaller.
listen.
We make less. We're the
Listen.
smaller part of the population, but we spend way more. We have way more debt. So if you pull up the
Yes,
consumer
but
spending numbers, black folks lead the way.
Wild dog, listen. When it comes to
It's
stadium,
your
when it
show,
comes
Harry,
to
but
concerts,
you misleading your fans, dog.
I'm not
Everybody
making
knows
any
black
sense.
folks spend more money.
Okay, you're missing this point just to make your point. I get it. You don't have to. I'm trying to tell you.
Black folks
all you-
spun Gucci. Black folks spun Louis Vuitton. Ask Coach Prime.
Oh man, Wild Dog. I don't know what's going on, but I'm trying to tell you, when you go to the stadiums, you're gonna see
I
more
go to
white
stadiums.
faces. Okay, I get it. All right,
I see
I'm
black
just trying
people
to let you
when
know.
I go to the
But
stadium.
the point that we're so far away from the point that I was trying to make, because you're so passionate about this and you're screaming your answers. You're not really trying to let anybody in. I'm just trying to let you know that at the end of the day, the reason why Caitlin Clark is being pushed. This is the point that we wanted to make earlier. The reason why Caitlin Clark is being pushed the way that she's being pushed is because the white community, okay, the powers that be, a white face representing a product is more beneficial to a lot of these organizations, okay, to a lot of these organizations than it is a black face. And I just wanted to let you know that. All right. For the most part, we dealt with this in one segment when I said, why is it that white people want their representative when you got Eminem? All right. So it's just a thing. It's gonna be there. It's a thing that's there, and we got to deal with it. So now they want Caitlin Clark, and they're pushing her. And for the most part, whenever you have a white person there, the way that they get paid is going to be so far disparaging than what a black person gets paid. The deals. You can go all the way to the movies and the actors. All right. So Taraji Henson, she's talking about how much she get paid versus Brad Pitt and Benjamin Buttons. And so it's a gap. The gap is strong. It is wide. It's very wide. So when you get Caitlin Clark, somebody who was made famous by Angel Reese, you know what I'm saying, and then we find out that she can actually ball. We find out that Eminem can actually rap. Wait a minute, like he's really good at rapping. He's a GOAT. Whenever they get one of those, they're going to push it a lot more, and they're going to get paid a lot more. That was the point that we tried to make before you started seeing black people at stadiums. Okay,
I see black people everywhere.
you see black
All
people
the
everywhere.
time.
I love you, Wando. You're crazy, bro. Yo, let me bring on Ron Tay. I see black people everywhere.
Come on, Ron. Come on, Ron. Help a brother out.
Hey, Ron Tay. You see black people everywhere, brother.
Hey, listen, Wild Dog
gosh.
and the panel member. Listen, my brother is the director of security for the NBA, and we have an opportunity from time to time when work permits to go to some of these NBA games. And listen, Wild Dog was talking about old men. There was a section that I left the box and went down to sit in, and there were these 5 old ladies, and they were just gawking at the players and the people that walked by that looked good. I was like, oh my gosh. So I didn't get a chance to look at. I was taken back by that. I didn't get a chance, and they were all black. They were all black.
You
So
see black people
I'm not
too?
saying that the stands were full of black people. Maybe I walked through the mist and it got me. Maybe I was talking to my band from Die Hard or something. I don't know. But I want to get back to the point that what I was hearing earlier in regards to the disparity in this country. You know, it's not only in the NBA or the WNBA. I mean, they were doing the same thing with Larry Bird. I rooted for Larry Bird because he was a great player, but they really pushed him. And like you said, he was a GOAT. He was a GOAT. And they do push those that meet that category. And right now, since South Carolina put out the formula to stop Caitlin Clark, they're doing that. And I saw where Harry showed the beginning of the situation with Caitlin Clark, but I didn't see the foul that Angel Reese suffered when one of the inside defenders kind of grabbed her by her throat and slammed her down backwards. I haven't heard, too much about that. I didn't hear that lady being called a thug. And all she did, as Harry said, really, she hip checked her. You bump, bang, and she fell down, which she should have, because you want to get the most significant foul called on your behalf. But I'm telling you, we're spending a lot of time talking about something that we all know is true. And I heard someone say that they called that a flagrant foul.
Flagrant one. They updated it after public opinion.
That is outrageous. That is outrageous. That's a foul. That's no flagrant foul.
It's flagrant because it's a flagrant because it's away from the ball. The ball. It's not a basketball play. Like if she bumped her like that while the ball was in play, then that's not a flagrant foul. But a flagrant is usually something that is like that's flagrant. Like that is definitely flagrant.
Well,
yeah, because it's not a basketball play. A flagrant fly, like you gotta be it gotta be a basketball play. Like this came out of that's why I think a lot of people are up in arms about it because
Harry, they're up in arms because it's a white girl. Just like the hand thing. She did the hand thing over her face, and then when Angel Reese did it, she was called all those names. They called this a flagrant foul and this girl a thug, but they don't call Caitlin Clark a thug when she elbowed the girl in the face.
Forget about that. But look at this. Look at this play at the top. Like you see this play right here. That push right there.
Yeah.
Do you think that push is harder than the little hip check? Do you think? Look at the push at the top of your screen. You see that push?
Yeah.
So then nobody calls her a thug on that. You see what I'm saying? Like we in the black community are not calling Caitlin Clark a criminal or a thug. It's always the other community that whenever something happens, it's like they want an opportunity to just label us. And it's like, oh, we said, well, this is a basketball play. Like, okay, she's competitive. Get out of my way. That's it. For us, that's it. But for other communities, it's like when black women or black men do something, it's more egregious than it is when white people do it. And I feel like we do need to have that conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like the conversation needs to be had because a lot of people that are coming over here, when the new guys that are coming over here, remember, they're like middle America. Okay, let's make that clear. The new basketball fans are middle America. That's what I said. NASCAR, Gator throwing people. They're new. But they see a white girl that's being promoted, but they're new to basketball now. So here they are. I'm just trying to let those people know, just like us BWBs who are new to college football, I'm just trying to educate them and let them know, hey, if you're going to start calling black women a thug, just like I forget the guy in the college football that called those black women nappy-headed hoes. Y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Somebody the Rutgers player with nappy-headed hoes.
Yes.
They want an opportunity at all costs to make it a race thing. But we're just saying, hey, this play is not, we don't see Caitlin as a thug. We just see her as either a tomboy or she's a competitive basketball player. The girl got in her face, and we just treat it like that. All it is just a basketball play. She just pushed the girl out of her way. It was nothing about her being a criminal or a thug. But we always want to come here.
Because she represents white America. At the end of the day, she represents white America. Look at her. I like the way she plays basketball, but guess what? She represents white America at the end of the day.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can represent white America all you want. I'm trying to talk to white America right now. I'm trying to say, hey, white America, please understand. Please understand. We got to stop this racial thing. Whenever black people are aggressive, and we can ask the question, Is it that thing where they say black people have to smile because we look dangerous? Is that what we're dealing with? That we're the aggressive race because of how mean and gorilla we look? Because we look like gorillas and we're tough and we're big and bad. We can hover over. We can't. Is it that thing where we look dangerous, right? Why cops are always
Harry
us
B.
because we look dangerous? Let's go all the way there. I'm not afraid.
Yeah, Harry B. You got a problem with me during this show because I'm black, dog. I'm verbally aggressive because I'm a Negro.
Negro. Did he say Negro?
You're not black and proud. You're black and loud.
And see,
say Negro.
this Negro being verbally aggressive on my show. Go somewhere. You in the dog pound, dog. Out, dog.
Oh,
Go out to the yard. Let him out to the yard.
You're big, black, and loud. Okay.
Hey,
Hey,
I earned the nickname Wild Dog. I earned that. It wasn't just
I'm
given.
sure you
I earned
did.
that. At Prairie View A&M, I earned from Q Dogs. I earned the nickname Wild Dog. So there you go.
I want to put white people at ease. I want white people to understand, to see things from our lens. If we can give white Kaylin some grace for this play, if we can say, white Kaylin was just trying to be she was just trying to be tough, but y'all gotta apply that same grace. I think at the end of the day, man, y'all gotta come back and I keep playing this not to disparage her, but I'm trying to send a message to those people that just don't get it. When you look at this, do you see thuggish behavior, or do you see an aggressive player? White America.
Basketball is a contact sport.
Angela look kind of light skinned. Angela, are you white or black? Because you look kind of light in your photo. Is there a white person in this house? I want to see a white person in the chat. Is this a
no
thug?
Harry B? I think I scared all the white people off. I'm my bad.
But yeah, you was loud. So I just want to ask white America, hey, are you looking at a basketball play or are you looking at a criminal? Is this a thug that you would not want to cross the street with at night in Kaylin Clark at the top of your screen? Is this a thug, or you just see that as regular sports? And I would submit to you that if you don't see that as a thug, then lay off the thug thing when it comes to black people, when it comes to black athletes. And so, okay, Angela's white. Angela Graham says she's white. So, Angela, help me out, Angela.
Yeah,
do you see a thug here, Angela? Is this a thug? She says she's looking at the game. Who's playing right now? WNBA game? Wait, is the NBA Finals tonight?
Not tonight, dog.
Oh, okay. Angela, can you help me out? Do you see a thug in Kaylin when you see this play? Because you know what I like, people always say, black people, we look aggressive. We look dangerous, right? That's why more black people get shot by police than white people. Because white people, y'all look innocent. Y'all can go to court in a t-shirt and the jury would not think that y'all did it just because you look innocent all the time. Is that what we're dealing with in our society all the time? Because you guys are just pure white and that's what and y'all just look innocent and we just look aggressive, and anytime we do something, all right. Okay, so Angela says, I don't see a thug. Okay. So you don't see a thug. Okay, Angela, I'm sorry we got to use you tonight. You're my resident white person.
Hey, she's a soldier. She can handle it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, good.
So she my role is the angry black man tonight. So
she might not be the right person to ask because she's a fighter. So this is not
she's
fair.
Military.
Anyway,
so hey, there'll be no bias.
Fighter,
though.
so you
probably give you her unbiased opinion as a soldier, as a military. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So look, she's light skinned. Chennedy or Kennedy is light skinned, but I guess you try to think of her as dark skinned and aggressive. Do you see a thug when you see this play, Angela? Is this a thug? Is this a criminal, Angela?
Is this thug life? Is this thug life?
Is this thug life? Is this Tupac? Okay, so that's what I want to say. I want to like, is it because okay, she's smaller, she's bigger, you know? I know how white people feel sometimes because we look angry, we look dangerous because we're black, which kind of is an advantage. It could be some type of an advantage for us, right? Maybe sometime, somewhere in
No,
life. No,
no, no.
it's not.
Hey,
Hey,
let me
Jim, you
y'all was
said
ready to keep me out. Y'all was ready to keep me
Huh?
off the panel because I was an angry black man.
Yeah, you were kind of angry there, you know.
yeah,
No, I
Waldo,
mean,
you
I don't want. I don't. I don't.
you're
I
passionate
don't. I
about
guess
that.
If
for
shit.
me, I do something like that.
I was white, y'all would have just let me run with it.
I'm not gonna let
Yeah,
nobody
that's
paint,
right, Wild
paint
Dog.
me.
That
Yeah,
would.
You're
that's,
that
Paint me.
aggressive,
that's true.
brother. You're big and you're black, and that you can't be that loud.
I'm not
Go
gonna
ahead,
let nobody
Jim.
paint me. I'm not gonna
Hey,
let nobody
go ahead,
paint me
Jim.
in that. And I'm not gonna let nobody paint me in that light. So that's
You
why I
ain't gotta
say
like
no.
it, bro. You don't
But
get to
what I'm
choose
saying
that.
now,
It's
let me
called a
ask you
bias.
this. Let me ask you this. Why? And this is what I hate about Stephen. I hate about Stephen A. Smith. He two-sided, flip-flop.
Yo,
You
I
know,
hate the way he talk. I hate the way that he
like
walk. I hate the way
yeah,
that he
bro.
dress.
I'm
I
like
hate
Kendrick. You
everything
heard
about
me?
I
that
don't
dude.
see that.
He's
He
such
not
a
like us,
coon,
bro.
bro.
He not like us for real.
He's not
So,
like us, bro.
but what I'm saying is, why didn't nobody have that same energy for the basketball heads? And you could testify to this, Wild Dog. Why didn't nobody have this same energy when Kobe Bryant ran through his teammate in the Olympics, ran straight through his chest?
Yes. Yeah,
That-
he did.
And they didn't say that was a flagrant.
They didn't call him a thug either.
They didn't call him a thug
Nope.
or none of that.
'Cause
But when it
he's a
seems
man.
like it come to our black females, we'll dog them out when they do something as simple as make a play, make a come and foul.
She's
They're
doing her
supposed to be
job.
elegant. They're
Listen,
nappy-headed hoes.
She's an
listen.
enforcer. She's a known enforcer. She's just doing her job.
Yeah, but if you look at all of the games, I don't mean to cut anyone off. All the games that Caitlin Clark is involved in, they are very physical with her until she
Welcome
gets
to the.
strength.
It's like a welcome to the show, rookie. It's a welcome to the
Yeah.
show, rookie. That's what it is.
That's right. They are very physical with her because that affects her game. And until she's able to deal with that, they're going to continue to do that.
And that's just
And
part of the
so
game.
it's
Welcome
part
to the
of the
big show,
game.
rookie.
Let
Yeah.
him finish,
It's
Waldo.
part
Let
of
him
the
finish.
game.
My bad. My bad.
So I know Harry B is hoping and praying that white people see this thing in an equitable way. It's not going to happen, Harry.
No, oh no,
They-
no.
They
I-
are
I-
blinded. They are blinded by their
Well,
prejudices, by their
now, let's
could
not
be
say white
racism.
people because
but-
Angela's white, so we can't paint a broad brush on white people. Some white people. I'm not.
Okay, some
I'm not.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
some.
some.
Let's make sure we say that.
Okay, so did Angel? What did
Because
Angel
I go
think
to a
about
white
the
church.
hip
My
check?
pastor is white, so he's pretty cool.
Did she say that this hip check did that make that girl a thug, or what was her opinion on that?
No, she said she didn't see no thug. What did she say? She put her answer. I had her answer up on the screen not too long ago.
She did not
Yeah,
see a
don't see
thug when
that.
you had Caitlin Clark pushing the girl down, almost giving the girl whiplash. When that was rolling, I want to know if she had the same opinion on this hip check.
Right here. This is her answer.
Yeah, she said it was not a thug move.
She said, "No, I don't see that."
And then she double down by saying her only problem is that it's about the timing of it. Right? If you're going to be an enforcer, the timing of it was wrong. So
Right.
as far as the basketball play, she's like, it was just excessive and the timing of it was wrong. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you got to flow with it. And then some people are saying that Clark flopped, but I don't think she flopped. She just sold it like she's supposed to. Like
Yeah,
she's
she didn't
supposed
flop
to.
at all.
That's right. She's supposed to do
So
that.
I think Clark might have baited her into giving her the body or hip check and then selling it like she's supposed to. So I think really, in my opinion, what we're seeing is Clark actually having gotten in the head, you know, of Carter.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that's
she got in the head of Carter
and
with his elbow in her face.
knowing and then selling it. It wasn't a flop.
Yeah.
It was a good sale to me. And then it is what it is. And then, of course, in this country, these people, we got to blow it all out of proportion. And then we got to use inflammatory words. Yes, the enforcer's known as a thug-style player, enforcer thug. But when you use those words, you got to understand the context of it. If you're responding to racial tension online, you cannot use those words. You have to interpret it differently, and it's irresponsible.
That's why I wanted to have this show tonight, Wild Dog. That's why I said let me not talk about football. Let's talk about this because it's in our community. We don't catch a break. It's always this line. It happened when I think Andrew Reese got it worse.
Much worse.
Andrew Reese got it way worse.
Much worse.
You see what I'm saying? The stuff that they were calling her was crazy. So it's like it's always this thing. Now we got Kayla in the NBA now. And her natural welcoming party is now being turned into these codes are turning it into everybody's gonna be jealous of Kaylin. That's why I say, how come she can't get the natural Alonzo Ball, right? The natural Lonzo Ball welcome. Patrick Beverly letting you know, bruh, you got all this attention. I'm gonna let you know. Welcome to the NBA. We want to welcome Kaylin the right way. Let people bump her. She's a little scrawny little girl. Like, stop playing with me, okay? You just came from college, and you look like you need to gain a few pounds, okay? Let's welcome her the right way, aggressively, without
100%.
anybody taking this.
Keep it down.
Thing. And then when you got the prominent people who are talking, when they try to make it these black girls are jealous of this white girl. When you try to make it that, it's going to take the conversation into a different lane, and then we got to deal with it. I don't know how much they deal with it out there with their corporate friends. We on the streets got to deal with it. Because I'm just walking with my family, and I'm seeing white people clutching their freaking pocketbooks. Let's get our prominent people who are out there to deal with these conversations so we don't have to do it on YouTube. It shouldn't be us YouTubers trying to make sure that we set the record straight,
the proper narrative,
right? Because we don't have a big of a platform. I just hit 13,000. That's not enough. It's not enough. Okay, I just got to 13,000. Give me a break.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be dealing with this stuff once I hit 100,000, 200,000. My platform is gonna be much bigger. But I can't be the one doing this work, man. I can't be the one telling everybody, hey, let's make this a basketball play. Let's hold Kennedy accountable for this hip check. Let's hold Kennedy accountable the right way. She is an aggressive player. We know her history, but she's not just like the girl said on ESPN, she doesn't speak for the entire women's basketball community. She's a Draymond Green. Like, she is a Draymond Green. But can we just make sure that we just put her in the category of a Draymond Green and just say, okay, she's a nasty player. Can she just be a nasty player and then we can take it from there? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Why not just say, Caitlin Clark ran into the Draymond Green of the WNBA. Welcome to the show, young lady.
There you go.
That's it.
To the league.
There you go.
That's it.
That's it.
But
if Stephen A. Smith would have said that with his cold tail, if he would have just said that, we could have moved on to a whole nother thing. Today would have been a better day. But he didn't do that. He went and he did the master's work.
Yeah. Just toughen the white girl up. Toughen her up there. That's all.
That's all. If we would have just said, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe she ran into Draymond Green. Welcome to the league," and then we would have been like, everybody would have been like, "Oh yeah, okay, I see what they're saying," and then play the second clip. We would have been good. All would have been well, and the conversation could have changed. But no, it didn't change. All these black girls are jealous, right? Because here comes this white girl making all this money. Oh my God, they're all jealous. Like, come on, bruh. Like, you're such a freaking cone, man. Like, I'll waste your career with freaking end. Like, get off the air, man. Like, seriously, get off the air. I hate to wish people bad, but get off the freaking air because you are taking up space that somebody who has a righteous mind need to be taking up, Stephen A. Smith. And I'm going to look at you and say it. Get off the freaking air, bruh. And I hope you lose your freaking job. Yes, I said it.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Does anyone Harry, calm down, man. Come on.
Stephen A. Love you, brother.
That's
Love you,
not
Stephen A.
Christ-like.
Love you, Stephen
Yes,
A.
Because
I'm sorry.
does
Yeah,
everyone
shout
remember?
out to Stephen A.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen,
No, shout out to him. Nothing.
Okay.
no.
Okay.
Hey, Harry, I 100%.
We all
agree
make
with Harry
mistakes and get caught up in the
because
drama.
at
No,
every single-
He's making too many daggone mistakes.
No,
Get him up out of here. He needs to get up out of here, man.
Yeah,
Get
I
that
agree.
coon up out of here.
Yes,
Harry,
I'm sorry, Ron.
you're very close to the dark side. Slow down, bro.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hey,
but
listen.
we need to get that coon up out of here, man.
Hey, let Harry cook. Let Harry cook. It's not just me tonight. That's all I'm trying to say. It's not just me. Let Harry cook when he's cooking.
I'm big,
Wild
black,
dog.
and aggressive.
No, I saw Wild Dog pass his drink up to Harry, and Harry took a swallow of it a while ago.
It's like, here you go, Harry. Here you go, Harry.
Hey, listen, let me ask you a
It's
question.
that dog. It's that dog juice.
Do you all remember Allen Iverson when he came into the league?
Ooh, yes, sir.
Allen Iverson. You remember?
Yep.
I remember seeing games
From
where
the Georgetown Hoyas.
they beat the heck out of that guy. They were knocking him down. They were fouling him. They were holding him. That I was like, why? You know, I was at one playoff game in Philly, and I was like, why aren't they throwing these guys out of the game? I mean, he took heck. But after they figured out that he wasn't going to stop, and he continued to come at them, they did their best to defend him then. And that's what Caitlin Clark is receiving. Sure, this lady who has a reputation of being Carter, who has a reputation of being aggressive, overly aggressive in the WNBA. But Caitlin Clark is getting this from every team. That's how you defend her. You are aggressive in her face, pushing her around, making her feel uncomfortable. That's the formula to defend her now. And you have to get her now because next year, in a couple years, when she gets used
She's gonna be cooking
to that pounding, I mean, my goodness.
That girl gonna be cooking.
Oh yeah, she's gonna. I mean, this is the only time you have a chance to do this to her, really.
Exactly.
I mean,
But this is good for the league. This is good for her.
It is because
good.
it helps her
toughens you up.
It helps her to get to the point where she needs to be in the league sooner. She knows what she needs to work on in the offseason.
Yeah.
Along with her other stuff, her other stuff. You know, she needs to toughen up. She needs to get stronger, and and add a couple ounces.
Exactly. But that. Hey, Ron. Thank you for saying that. That's what I want the conversation to be, man. I just want to have a sports conversation. I don't want to have to always come to this place. I want to have a sports conversation. But now it's like the people that are the race baiters, right? The people that make money off of race. They're trying to take the microphone. They're trying so hard to make this about race, and we don't hate Caitlin. They want to divide us so that they can make more money off of us. Because guess what? The more we talk about race and try to paint Caitlin as this, all the black people hate Caitlin, they're going to make more money because they're going to put her in more commercials. More white people are going to line with her. She's going to have a big audience, and more white kids are going to want to take photos with Caitlin because everybody hates her. No, stop that. Let's make this about a basketball thing. She's going to be the face of WNBA, and the WNBA needs this. They need a face, and Caitlin is it, right? And yes, AK, I agree that it was because of that Angel Reese situation that she came on the map. Before that, she was still cooking. Caitlin has been cooking for years, and nobody knew about it or nobody cared until the Angel Reese situation happened. And then bada boom, bada bang, now all of a sudden, we got a polarizing person who's really good at basketball. So here you are. She can be the face. It could have been a black girl. Who knows? Because we got Deion Sanders. Right? He's black, right? Deion Sanders is black. So I'm just saying, she's the Deion Sanders. All right? And we all want to get behind her. They got their own BWBs, all right, or whatever, FWF, all right? FWF, fever wagoners, all right?
Hey, and I met a whole bunch of fans from Iowa, literally from Iowa.
Yeah.
At the Dallas Wings game in Arlington, and wonderful people, all of them.
Right.
willing to have a conversation with me, willing to take pictures with me. So I'm like, I don't know. So far, maybe because I'm, I used to be a local, somebody or whatever, but it's been an awesome experience. It really has. And just the more people filling up the seats, it's just been a whole bunch of great energy. If you just love sports, if you love basketball, this is a wonderful time. And then so many more people have admitted to say, man, it's like, what's going on with the men's? What do you mean what's going on with the men's? Man, all I've been watching is the NCAA women's basketball, dog. I mean, openly admitting that women's college basketball got their full attention. They don't know what's going on anywhere else. And now then they literally follow them into the league. And all they care about is what Kaylin doing, what's Clark doing, what's Angel Reese doing, because I don't know, it's the whole dynamic of it. Not just one player, not just the other player, but two dynamic players coming in, having that level of competition, and then coming into the league together. We've seen it before, but but embrace it, enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Forget about the drama and just, make the most of it that we can. When it comes to the league, to the owners, to the players, for the fans, the time is now more than ever, to really enjoy basketball and not even worry about sex, not even worry about being women's basketball or Clark and Reese being females.
Right.
Just enjoy the game.
You actually have
the dividers would not even do that. They won't even allow us to do that. The dividers always want to make that other money because race is a $1 billion market. Racism and race talk, race baiting is $1 billion, probably $1 trillion lane to be in. So it's better to have us divided because then you can sell certain products. So, but I'm not buying it. I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna let it happen this time, man. I'm not letting it happen.
Harry B. I don't know if you ever see it, but in the chat, right when you wrap up your show, and in the chat, one of the statements I make in the chat is, "Do not be deceived, do not be divided." And I end with words of encouragement and peace and love in the chat every time I can. And one of the statements I make is, "Do not be divided," and that's from the Spirit.
So listen, AK. Let me address AK real quick. So if you're naive enough to think that the WNBA is only making her a face because she broke records, that's a naive thing to think. Okay, trust me, you're being naive. Stop being naive. Okay, nobody was following college women basketball as much as they are now before the Angel Reese situation. So if you don't think that the Angel Reese situation enlightened this whole thing, and then everybody started paying attention to Kaylin Clark and Angel Reese, if you don't think that that's the origin of it, and you think it was because of her records, I'm trying to let you know that you're being naive. It's just not. Yeah. It's not. That's not correct. Okay, because Kaylin had been cooking for a very long time. Kaylin was cooking. Okay, Kaylin was cooking.
And we've had other players better than her. I mean, not the records, but we've had other players with bigger skill sets and on the bigger stage, do bigger things. But it hasn't created this. But it hasn't created this. Now they laid down the foundation and the history and slowly gaining respect and recognition, like the Cheryl Millers and the Cheryl Swoops. Those are my two favorites, the Cheryls. But the timing is now. And it's not just Clark, it's not just Reese, it's what Reese and Clark created in their competition against each other.
Exactly. Once that situation broke the internet, once we got Kaylin and Reese, right? Yes. Once we got Kaylin and Reese, the world started to pay attention. The people that knew about Kaylin were basketball aficionados. Okay, we're women basketball aficionados. Those people who were watching, they all knew that Kaylin was a problem. The world did not know that Kaylin was a problem until that situation with this situation, and then the world started following, started paying attention. Once they started paying attention, if Kaylin sucked, this thing would have blew over. I promise you. If Kaylin was not as good as at basketball as she is, this whole thing would have blew over. Nobody would have cared about none of this. But once we got introduced, right? It's how you get there is one thing, but what keeps you there is her game. Okay?
Yes.
So the world came for this and then found out that the daggone girl was cooking. And that's what got us to say, oh wow, let's take a second look. That's what got a lot of black men to say, why are people saying this is racist? This is not a racist thing. This is just two competitive women that are and then black people became fans of Kaylin. When everybody wanted to divide us again, right? When everybody wanted to divide us again, we learned that it was a basketball thing. And then the two women says, we happy that it happened because it brought y'all here. So what are you telling me? It's not nothing I don't know. I have to listen to sport and I have to pay attention whether I tell you or not. I have to watch because I have a sports channel. I don't have to tell you what I'm looking at and what I'm not looking at. I don't have to do that. I don't talk about it because nobody's interested. But people are interested in this. I'm just trying to let you know. I'll pay attention.
Yeah,
But
AK is with you, dog. It's all good, but you own it. She struck a chord with you, and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Somebody sometimes says something, and we're talking. You see the chat, but that you really brought that all the way home, Harry, with that last statement there. Yeah. So thank you, AK. You know,
well, yeah,
I don't know where she's at with it, but it is what it is. So y'all on the same page, but her statement needed to move you into that because we needed that.
No, but let me just say this. AK said earlier, like it wasn't that situation that is making her who she is, and I'm trying to double down on that and say yes, it is, because she was cooking and we didn't know about her. The world did not know about her, she was still cooking. The world only got to know her. You know, she was breaking records back then. So the world only got to know Kaylin at Iowa because of that injury situation. And that's why I was just trying to make sure that's the point I was making.
Yes.
So they're not putting her on. They're not putting her on because she broke records in the NBA. I mean, in college. That's not why. That's not. Trust me. They're putting her on because of her platform now, because it's huge. All right. Because if that was the case, don't we have people who have higher records than Kaylin? Don't we have people with championships that we can put on? Right?
Yes.
Isn't it about winning? So if that's the case, if they were just putting her on because she was breaking records, then why don't we put somebody on that has championships? She has none. So
hey Harry, season tickets for the WNBA started selling out in March.
And you know,
pretty much every team was sold out, is done.
I want to say something.
Folks anticipated them coming, and it's just the timing is now. But again, doubling down, it's not just Clark; it's Clark and Reese.
Right. Right.
The Sky games are selling out. You know,
and they're not winning.
And I would actually tell you that
they're not.
The Sky resale tickets actually end up going for a bit more on average than the Fever sold out.
Oh, I mean, Fever aren't women.
But in fact, they selling out everywhere because you got Cordoso over there too. Isn't she Hispanic? My bad.
Yeah.
I thought like I said, I was seeing white, black, and Hispanic people. Cordoso is Hispanic. You know,
if the WNBA plays their cards correctly, if they play this right, you have a Magic Bird situation.
Yes.
When Bird came in, we had the same conversation. Oh, they letting him get away with murder because he's a white guy. They're being harder on the black guys. But I'm serious. I mean, if the WNBA plays this correctly, they could build this thing and have these two competitors throughout their career, increasing the publicity and increasing give me a word, Wild Dog. Increasing out here and their popularity
increasing the market. because
increasing the market of the
They're gonna have to
WNBA.
win some championships in order to do that, though. Just to be
Not
fair.
necessarily.
Yeah, they
Not
will,
necessarily
and I
because
think it's
They're
going to
going
come.
to.
Yes,
They're
yes,
going to.
necessarily. Yes, necessarily.
because I've met people.
That's going to happen.
I've met people who weren't even fans of basketball. They're not even fans of basketball, and then they run into me at the Wings game. I'm like, and I just laugh. You know what I'm saying? They're like, "Hey, I had to be here for it." I'm like, "Yeah, because you're a sports fan." So I met people who aren't even fans of basketball, but they were at the Sky game or they were at the Fever game. It's like I said, it's Bird and Magic. People who didn't like basketball. Basketball was suffering. The championship was on delayed replay, dog. They come along on the scene, and all the WNBA has to do is follow the blueprint that Commissioner Stern laid out. When Bird and Magic arrived, all they got to do is repeat his business. It's not brain surgery. You know, give them break. No,
Why is your screen frozen? You're talking, but your screen is frozen.
Oh, my bad. I don't know what's going on. I think it might have been a brownout. We had thunderstorms today over here. But
okay.
I had to reset mine.
Yeah, but I'm just saying all they gotta do is follow the blueprint. It's that simple. Just recognizing it, accept it, and then look at history and just repeat history. And in my opinion, Clark and Reese, right, are setting the stage for Juju out of USC. Just like Bird and Magic doing what they did, made it possible for MJ and Nike to take it to a whole nother level. They can't mess this up. They can't mess it up. It's too simple and easy, but it's already been done before.
All right, hold on, Wild Dog. So I don't know what Andrew is saying here. It was totally uncalled for. So don't you think it was okay that they can her out in a non-ball play, but at the same time, everyone is about Caitlin Clark is the bad guy because she was fighting back. Caitlin Clark, who is saying Caitlin Clark is the bad guy? Is this a conversation I kind of stumbled upon? I don't know that anybody's saying Caitlin Clark is a bad guy because Caitlin Clark didn't fight back. She didn't say any. She didn't do anything. Maybe I'm reading something into something that was not here.
I think she did something early, or they say she did something before.
Caitlin Clark didn't fight back. She didn't say anything. She didn't do anything. She just got bumped.
I mean, yeah, before that incident happened, before the bump. I think something happened.
What did she do before the bump?
I'm not sure.
She elbowed the girl in the face, caught her in the face. Well, Harry, you know,
but that's not what she's talking about here. It's not.
Oh.
You can't play it backwards. What are we doing? VHS rewind? She bumps her and then she goes back in time to fight back. No.
Well, maybe she don't like her. I don't know.
No, it's a formula that they have for young, hot players. Angel Reese is suffering the same thing, man. I'm telling you. You watch it. They beat and bang on her. I mean, she's a little bigger and a little stronger, but she's catching it also.
I think Caitlin Clark. Listen, Caitlin Clark. I don't know that she ends up with the Fever. I think she's gonna. She eventually is gonna move on to a different team. Okay, maybe a bigger.
She's gonna go to a winner.
Right. She's gonna win, but I don't know that it happens with the Fever unless she in a couple of years she's gonna be more I guess loyal to who drafted her first, and then she's gonna play it out and try to get a championship like she tried to do at Iowa. But I don't know. But I think she's gonna be okay. But I want this talk to change too at the end of the day, because we got to wrap this up, guys. I want this talk to be basketball talk. Let's make sure that Caitlin Clark is the face of the NBA, the WNBA. Okay, she's gonna be in some NBA commercials as well. They're gonna do some cross marketing, but she needs to be the face. We're all going to gather behind Caitlin Clark being the face of the WNBA. What I don't want us to do is to try to pin black people against her, and then the racist white people that are out there, they're going to come and start calling the black women nappy-headed hoes and all kinds of names because they stay on go. Yeah. All right? They stay ready to go because they just don't like us. They want all of us to go back to Africa, even though it's hot over there. All right.
But Harry, my only thing is I'm just like it needs to be Clark and Reese. They need to get Clark and Reese on a poster.
Yes.
They need to get Clark and Reese in commercials.
That's the way it's gonna. It's coming. That's the way it's gonna play out.
Just like you had the arcade game, Bird versus Magic. You had Bird and Magic working together on Converse, the same shoe but in 2 different color patterns.
Oh, hold on, Wild Dog. Hold on. I want us to address this. Hold on, Wild Dog. I know you want to finish your thought, but just give me a second.
No, my bad. I'm good.
Yeah. I want us to address.
I'm still talking about the '80s, but that's I'm just saying. I'm still talking about I'm being more specific about the '80s. What happened in the '80s, but for them just to follow it, just do the same thing they did back in the '80s. That's it.
So, Wild Dog, I want us to address this because with all the trying to make sure that we understand now that everybody understands the whole trajectory or how everything happened. I want everybody to see this as well because this is part of it. Okay. Now this is where I have to say, Kennedy, if you're out there listening, she said that she was not answering no Kaylin Clark questions. I thought that was wrong. I want to get your thoughts on this, and then we can finish. Right? I felt like Kennedy Clark, what she did herself a disservice, and she did the WNBA a disservice by not getting ahead of this controversy and not talking about it. All she had to do was to help us out here, to be able to help her as well, to say we got in a little tussle under the rim, and you know what I'm saying. And I just took it out. I got frustrated. You know what I'm saying. Tell your story. I know you're frustrated. And everybody's talking about Kaylin Clark, and all of y'all are frustrated. Y'all don't want to talk about it no more. But what you cannot do, you know what I'm saying. What you cannot do is to start saying stuff like, and that's that on that, because besides 3-point shooting, what does she bring to the table, man? This is what you cannot do, all right? Because then it feeds back into that whole idea of you being jealous, right?
But she's not jealous, Harry. She's just competitive, and it's post game energy. You know what I'm saying? It's like
I get it, Wild Dog. But give me a second. Let me lay this out. I'll give you the microphone, Wild Dog. Give me a second. Let me finish laying this out. I want to make sure I get this out. Right. I'll give you the mic and I'll give you an opportunity to answer because I want people to understand that at the end of the day, if you don't get ahead of it, if you're saying I'm not taking no Kaylin Clark questions, first it's showing your frustration about the whole Kaylin Clark. Everybody's talking about Kaylin Clark's situation, just like Dan Lanning. Okay, Coach Prime, I'm in my own interview. I'm over here with the Ducks trying to get us ready to play. I don't got time for whatever's going on over there at Colorado. When you get these type of answers, or when people are talking to us, when it's talked that way, you can kind of read into their frustration about everybody's talking about this. I don't care no more. I thought she had a burden to let people know, hey, that was just a basketball situation. I was just a little frustrated, or whatever happened. Explain your situation. And then you start tweeting weird stuff. I want to get your thoughts, and I'll start with you, Wild Dog. Try to keep it 30 seconds because we got to wrap it up.
Hey, Harry B, she's a gym rat, dog. I mean, I'm not really trying to play devil's advocate, but like you, I would, in this situation, I would have hoped for more, something different. And the players and people they need a little bit more time to adjust. But if it had been anybody else, I wouldn't expect any different response from this player. You know what I'm saying? So this isn't, I'm smiling and laughing because I wouldn't expect anything different from her. This is the same kind of response that she's given before. You know what I'm saying? So this is who this player is. But I know it's sensitive because of the climate around it, but at least she's being true to who she is, being a gym rat, being a baller. She gave a baller response.
Okay.
So it got nothing to do with black and white. It got everything to do with we out here trying to get a W. You know what I'm saying? So I
basically,
mean,
she's standing on
she's
business.
helping us. She's helping us, but it's not helping the climate. But there's some people that we can't help, Harry. We help who we can. The people we can't reach are just gonna take this and run with it. Right? The people that are gonna read it's gonna be like, dang, she sound like an athlete. She sound like a competitor. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, they be balling for real. Maybe I'll look at the video and see it differently because she just sound like a baller. Look, even kids when they play chess, I'm like, look, when the chess game is over, go back to being a gentleman. It's a gentleman's sport. You know what I'm saying? Even these kids playing chess go at each other, right? Chess is not a sports or board game. Okay, come play with my kids and you'll find out. You know what I'm saying? It's like they slapping bones, dominoes. You know what I'm saying? You know, they come at you, right? So that competitive energy.
All right, Wild Dog, you got to wrap it up.
Yeah. So that's it, brother.
All right. All right, Ron, what is your thoughts on how she responded and how she handled this in the media? What is your thoughts on this?
Well, Harry, I'm going to take both sides. You know, out of her frustration, she has a right to feel about it the way she does. But as far as the sport, yeah, she could have gotten ahead of everything and said that, you know, hey, look, I got elbowed earlier. I pushed her. She pushed me back. I got frustrated and, you know, and gotten ahead of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I still think, man, it boils down to basketball. You're not going to change anyone. You're not going to change the mindset of those of us that know sports are going to understand that, hey, Caitlin Clark is a rookie in a professional league, and they're going to go at her. And, you know, that's that. She's going to get it. Angel Reese is getting it. That's just the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean,
right.
that's my point on it.
All right, Tennis, go ahead. What are your thoughts on this and how she handled it in the media?
I think she handled it well. I mean, I was reading some of the thing that she had on there, and she asked a question. I guess she didn't answer that to, you know, when she said she didn't want to have anything to say about Caitlin back then, she didn't. When she got on the chat, she said, "Okay, you know, what does she bring to the game? All she does is shoot 3 points. She doesn't bring anything else to the game." That explains it right there. So she said what she wanted to say, but she said it on a different format. And she probably because she was angry, she was upset. You know, many reasons why she said what she said when she said what she said. So I think she was. I mean, she was well within her right. Because sometimes athletes don't have rights. They want you to say something. So when you say something, you get criticized by the media and other people. When you don't say nothing, you still get criticized. So I think she handled it good.
All right, Tim, did you think she handled it well as well? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think she handled it well. I mean, I wouldn't have said anything either. I mean, that's what the media is looking for anyway, to spin it and you know, draw other narratives.
Yeah.
So I mean, just let them do what they do. Let them write what they want to write. As far as her comment on social media, I mean, I probably would have stayed away from that, but I do understand it. I mean, what she's speaking is facts. LSU exposed Clark, um, in that national champion. I mean, in the
But what does
Final Four.
what does Steph Curry bring to the game, bring to the NBA other than 3 points?
Huh? Well, I'm
What
talking
does Steph Curry add to the NBA other than 3 points?
Steph Curry's a
his
good
handles.
player. Yeah.
He go. Steph Curry can drive just like Kyrie can drive. He's a great. Steph Curry can see the floor well. He can pass very well. Caitlin Clark can pass well. She can shoot.
She
She'll
was a
try to.
general. She's a floor general that handled.
No, she's not.
No.
If you put that pressure on Caitlin Clark, like the gentleman stated earlier that I was listening to on this panel,
Mm-hmm.
you disrupt her whole entire game. LSU
Yeah.
exposed her in the Final Four. South Carolina did the same thing in the national championship. They're gonna pick that playbook and use that to their advantage, team's advantage in the WNBA until she figure out the game on a pro level, like her coach stated in the interview, the press conference
I got
earlier.
pushback.
Go
Tim, I
ahead,
got
go
pushback.
ahead. But that's all I was gonna say though.
I got pushback because when she
Okay.
played our Buffs, when that girl played our Buffs, man, we didn't have no answer for her.
That's the Buffs,
You-
bro.
Well, I mean,
Hey,
the
Harry,
Buffs
Harry,
nigga-
Harry B, I'm with you because like I mean, it's just Clay, it's just Clark. Where was the help? It's Iowa. Come on, people. It's Iowa.
Yeah.
You know,
they had a
you put
squad.
pressure, this and that. Where was her help? And even
Right.
even in the league, Indiana Fever, where is her help? It is
Right,
what
the
it is.
Fever, the
Hold
Fever
on,
don't
hold on,
really
hold on.
have.
You saying
Where-
Iowa?
where
You
was
saying
Michael
Iowa
Jordan's-
didn't have any? You
Where was
saying that
Michael
she didn't
Jordan's
have
help?
help?
Where was Michael Jordan's help?
Are you? Michael Jordan had Pippen. Michael Jordan had Grant. He
8
had,
years later, what was he
he
doing
had
year
King.
1, year 2, year 3? Getting his butt whooped.
Yeah, but he was scoring no more.
But what I'm
40 or
saying is,
40
you
points a
talking
game.
junior and senior year. Junior and senior year, they had a squad, bro. They
That got
had the same
exposed.
team.
It wasn't
Huh?
Clark that got exposed. It was Iowa that got exposed.
It was
Right.
Clark
It wa-
who
it
got
wasn't Clark.
exposed, bro.
Hold on, let me finish my
What you not
pushback.
seeing?
Let me finish my pushback. So listen, when Kaylin Clark plays teams that are not as strong as the Buffs and other, I mean that are not. You're right. When she plays stronger teams, yes, do they cut off a certain part of her game? Yes, but guess what? You need other players. You need your teammates to be more aggressive like you. So what she did was just face teams that were more aggressive because if you look at the Steph Curry situation, Steph Curry can do all that dribbling, but when you cut off the dribbling, what else he got? He starts missing threes. So if you look at basketball, there are teams that are going to get the best of you. At the end of the day, every team is not going to play you the same way. So how can the Timberwolves, how can they beat Denver, but then they're getting dunked on by the Dallas Mavericks, right?
Because of the
So,
tempo of the game that Dallas was playing.
but that's what I'm saying. So the tempo changes. You need pieces to be able to change that tempo with you.
Kaylin Clark had I don't mean to cut you off, Harry. Kaylin Clark had a good center that showed up in the Sweet 16. That she had a power forward that been playing with her probably since I want to say her freshman year or sophomore year. She had a shooting guard that been playing with her all 4 years. She had a lot of weapons around her.
Bruh. So Tim, you don't agree that she's a floor general? Did you see what she did against the Buffs?
Man, that's the Buffs. Now, when you
Well,
playing
why do
better,
you keep saying that's the Buffs? Like they were not. They didn't go to they didn't almost make it to the Final Four. Like, what do you mean that's the Buffs?
okay,
The
I give
Buffs
it to you.
are
I
good
put it to you like
team.
this: when you have a
What?
when
Don't
you have
disrespect the
the
Buffs like that,
championship,
bro.
dog. Shit.
Come
when
on,
you
son.
have
Don't
when you-
disrespecting our Buffs,
listen,
bro.
when you have a guard, okay, I played basketball, right?
Okay.
If
But why
I
you
had
if you play basketball, then why you disrespecting the Buffs like that?
no, man, what I'm saying, just let me
You
land the
saying
plane,
that's
bro.
the Buffs like they're some
Okay, the
scrubs or
Bucks
something.
went to the Sweet 16, right? Okay,
Thank you. Put some
I give
respect
them
on their
that.
name.
Okay, the respect is there.
Gosh.
But what I'm saying is, the caliber of team that the Bucks have this season versus the team that
Oh man, your audio's going back now.
But Harry B, I can tell Tim is from Dallas.
Hold on.
We can't hear him.
Hey Tim, reset. Your audio's bad.
Yes. Okay,
Oh.
can you hear me?
There you go. You're better now. Go ahead.
Okay, a team that been playing together and gelling together for 3 or 4 years. They know each other in and out. They know each other's game, how they like to play. But Kaylin Clark is she's a guard that can shoot it like Steph Curry, a guard that can pass. The only thing about her driving
Is she
game,
a point guard or a shooting guard?
who she's a point guard and a shooting guard. She both. She can play the one or the two. But what
She's
I'm
a combo
saying is,
guard.
Hold on.
but
You don't believe that she's a floor general? That girl's a floor general, bro.
because when you have a fast, speedy guard that can press, that can play man-to-man full court press the whole entire game, now you disrupt her full court and her half court game.
Isn't that up to the coaching staff?
That's what
to
I'm
switch-
saying.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you saying she's not. And I'm telling you,
that's
she
what
is.
I'm saying. You will take that away in the NBA, in the WNBA. You got fast guards in the WNBA.
Tim, listen.
Come on, Tim. We talking about back-to-back Final Fours and a runner-up in the championship. Let's be real here. We're talking about back-to-back to the Final Four.
Did she win it?
It doesn't matter.
I know you from Dallas. Now I know you from Dallas.
I'm from Louisiana. I just live in Dallas.
She did lose.
Hold up. Come on, Tim. You gotta be fair, man. Like to be fair,
bro.
To be fair, right? Listen.
That's a conversation I don't like having.
Let me just finish this thought, and then you let me know. Whenever, you got your floor general. She's distributing. She's doing everything she could do to get your team to the Final Four 2 years in a row. Okay, and then to the finals, right? I call her a floor general because I know that she did that. But then one night you get a team that can take away her lanes, right? The lanes that she would naturally get against lesser teams, they take it away. What are you supposed to do as a coach, as a head coach? You're supposed to now create a different lane for her. You're supposed to make plays to where when she brings the ball to the half court, you're supposed to now not depend on her doing what she usually does when she gets to half court. You gotta switch it up to help your point guard. You can't, because Steph Curry, when I watch Steph Curry, right, whenever he gets to the point where he gets pressed and it stop all that running around, whenever he gets somebody that can match his energy, I feel like the same thing happens to him. He disappears in the games. He disappears in games. So they try to switch it up to where Draymond Green becomes the point guard. You ever see that? Draymond Green starts to bring the ball up. Right.
So that's why you
Curry to start rotating and then make him open to start shooting the threes. So when this girl says, "What else she got?" All she got is 3-pointer. I'm like, I know that there are designated 3-point shooters, and Steph Curry is a designated 3-point shooter. When somebody, like you said,
I'm not taking away from her game, Harry.
Huh?
I'm not taking away from her game. I'm not telling.
I'm not saying she's not a floor general, and I know that she gave out. She's a floor general.
She can shoot the rock, but when you play, if you ever heard of a boxing one defense, wherever they go, that's where you go. That's how they play Ray Allen when he was at Boston. That's how they play. Some teams play Steph Curry. That's how LSU played Caitlin Clark. That's why I said that's how they expose her. When you have a good guard, a fast guard that can play good defense, press defense, you play a boxing one on her. You don't allow her to shoot because she is deadly. She can pass. Now her driving ability.
This is the question for you. Because a team can take away her lanes, does that negate the fact that she could be a floor general? Floor generals can a floor? No. Listen to the question, Kaylee. Right? You're telling me that there are not teams out there that can actually affect the floor general like Steph Curry? Okay, let me ask you a question.
Are there teams out there that can do that?
Floor general? Do you think that Steph Curry is a floor general?
Yes, I feel like he's an all-around true point guard, 1 and 2. He can play the 1 or 2.
So with that being said, right, what happens when a team does that box defense thing and they take away his lanes? And Draymond Green has to now become the floor general. So isn't that the same thing?
No. Here's how it works.
You help me out.
I'm a former basketball player. Here's how it works. If you got a set scheme that you're running, that the team is running, and it's keyed around maybe one person.
Better. What?
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
No. Flock is saying in the comments, who has she made better? Who has she made better?
Well,
her whole team. She made her whole team better.
Well, and let me finish. Now, before you make me forget what I'm
I'm
about to
sorry.
say
Go
here.
ahead. I'm sorry. My bad.
When
Go ahead.
when I played and things wasn't working the way that I wanted it to go, or we wanted to go, we would, you would do things. You would. So, okay, to shoot threes, you got to get into the flow. You don't just come out there and just start shooting threes. So you have to do other things, or maybe getting on the other end playing defense, then coming back and running a different play. But there's a way that you get into the flow of the game. And then once you get into the flow of the game, now you're working your magic. And may not run the play that I want to work, but we're running the play. It's opening up other things. And I don't know if that explains it or not. But when I was
I
playing,
didn't
and I
ask you
was
to
playing,
explain basketball. I'm talking about Kalen.
but that's what I'm
Tennis.
saying. You're talking about Kayla.
Answer the
Kayla,
question about Kalen.
she's not, but she
What
she's not
position
a
are you taking? Is she not, or she
she
is?
listen. She's not a floor general. If they can shut her down during the game, if
That's
they
not.
can
That's
shut
not.
her
No,
down,
that's
because
incorrect.
listen.
You are old head.
And
You play basketball. You're telling me that's
listen. A
incorrect.
floor general. This is what a floor general will do. A floor general will find a way to make it happen. If they shut
What?
her down at any
Three
time,
final. I mean, two Final Fours back to back. She did find a way to make it happen. Are you kidding?
what will she do?
What do you mean?
What
Come
she
on,
do?
y'all capping.
If
Y'all
they shut
y'all basketball players, and you're sitting down here and you're making statements like,
you lucky.
so you're telling me that the okay. So who was the reason why her team made it as far as they did the couple of years that we were when we introduced her? Who was the reason why?
I didn't say she wasn't instrumental in helping to get
But who had the
team
rock
there.
in their hands though? Who did? Who had the rock in their hands?
Well, she had other people to
So
help
she
her.
couldn't distribute. She
but
couldn't
when-
do none of that stuff. She was
but
not
when
a floor general who made sure that she got there. You're serious right now?
But when they shut her down, she couldn't do nothing. Who was the general
What?
then? When you get
When
rid
they
of the
shut
head,
listen, when they shut down your floor, maybe you're not hearing me. When they shut down your floor general, you need other people who have skill sets that can take over because Steph Curry can be shut down. They haven't made the NBA Finals yet because guess what? When they had Iguodala, when they had the Iguodala was an enforcer. Draymond Green was an enforcer. So whenever there was a team that shut down Steph Curry from doing what he did, Iguodala took over. Draymond Green took over. She just didn't have that. But she made it to the Final Four several times. You need other pieces around you that can take over, like Peter Investor is saying. You need depth pieces. You need pieces that you can sub in that when somebody bigger or somebody got your number, they can roll off of that person.
But she couldn't do it though.
When Deion Sanders
it.
and his Colorado Buffs, when one of the best players in college football, when he was being handled by number 13 at Stanford, what we needed to do was roll somebody off of Travis Hunter, not continue to put him in that situation. It doesn't mean that Travis Hunter was not the player that he is.
Harry, we didn't do it, and that's why we lost. See, you find a way to make it happen. You got to be able to do it. That's why we lost.
What side of this argument are you on? Is Travis Hunter? Willie, you're killing me right here. Okay,
we had Travis Hunter. We still couldn't make it.
Travis Hunter was the player that he is, right? We all agree that Travis Hunter was the player that he is. The fact that number 13 had his number in that game, and the fact that he was hurt, it does not negate that he was that player. I'm trying to make this point. It doesn't take away the fact that he was that player, and the coaching staff needed to change the game up, the flow of the game to adhere to what was going on with Travis Hunter. Okay. You can't say that Caitlin Clark was not a floor general when she literally handled the bus by herself. They couldn't do anything. They couldn't stop her from distributing the ball. The way the girl was slinging that rock in the middle, she was finding her players. She was doing everything on that floor. If you watch that game, that's a floor general. Are there going to be games where people have her number?
Let me ask you a question. If she goes to another team and they play her the same way, why couldn't they make that happen at the other game that they lost? When she didn't perform, when she don't perform the way she does, something else is going on.
It doesn't mean that she's not a floor general. That means that somebody's got
Well,
her
they shut her.
number, and
Well,
the
they shut her
coaching
down.
staff
They
needs to
shut her down.
adjust it.
Hey,
No, they shut
Harry,
her down, Harry. They
Harry,
shut her
Harry,
down.
Harry, she's trash because she lost.
Yeah,
She made
they
it all the
shut
way.
her. They
She's
shut her down.
She's runner up. She's runner up, back to back, runner up. So she's trash. She's just a loser.
And they
Harry.
shut. And they
Let it
because
go,
they
Harry.
shut-
She's
because
just
they
trash. She's a
shut her
loser
down.
because she didn't win. You have to
All-
win or you're trash, Harry.
All right.
You have to win it all, Harry.
All
or you're
those
just
games
drunk
they
trash.
won. All those games they won, and they get to the Final Four and
Runner
they
up,
lose.
back to back in basketball in Iowa.
They shut her,
Iowa.
and at the end they shut her
Iowa.
down.
Iowa.
They
Each
shut her
year,
down because
Iowa.
do you-
2 years.
hey,
2
Willie, you
years.
say you play basketball, but you're showing your hands right now.
No, I'm
Listen
not.
to me. Yes, you are. You're showing your hands right now. Listen.
Uh-huh.
The reason why you know one player will get shut down, you know why? Because that means that she has to compensate for several players on that team that are lacking.
Hmm.
That's usually why.
There are no
Because
excuses. No
Because
excuses.
if they shut down, listen, Willie. If they shut down your lane, that means that they're taking another player out of the game. All right. If she makes a certain pass to a player, they don't make that shot. If she distributes the ball to another player, they don't make their shot. They can lose that way. But if she gets the ball there successfully, that means that she is capable of doing her job as a floor general. She can't make the basket for all of her teammates. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like that's what that means. That means that she's doing her part, but her other teammates are also being shut down as well.
As
So
a
you
commander and officer, you have to
you got to make the
inspire
basket
your
for
team.
your players.
You have to inspire your team to do better. That's what a floor
What?
general does.
That's what she did, and she got to the Final Four. Hello,
And she
did
lost.
that.
And she lost.
I think you're trolling. I think you're
No,
trolling.
I'm
You don't want to
not.
have this conversation. I think you're trolling.
That's what I'm saying.
It's weird. It's weird. Like you're not trying to have the conversation. You're just saying she lost. She
You know
lost.
why?
It's not
You-
indicative of her being whether she's a floor general or not. You're not having that conversation.
But Harry, you know I'm not having that
Watch out. Be
conversation.
careful. Be careful.
Listen, you know why I'm not having that conversation? Because I'm a former player. I played the game. So I know how the
So what
game goes.
If you
I
know
played
how
the
the
game.
game goes,
I'm
then
not
you will
talking about
understand what I'm trying to say. But
I
you're not trying to.
understand
You're
what you're
not
saying, but that-
adding to the conversation by saying she lost.
because I am a
You
player,
sound like
not
somebody
a,
who
not
never
a
played the game.
spectator. I'm a player, not a spectator.
So what does
Players
that
look
mean?
at
That
the
means
game
that
a
you
lot,
should be
a
having
lot
a better
different.
conversation right now. But I'm cooking you because you're not providing anything as a former player.
Or
You just keep saying she lost.
Are you a player or are you a spectator?
What does that mean? Somebody
Well,
who's a
now
player,
you
right?
know what to
That
say.
mean that you paid $9,000 for that ticket to watch it courtside.
That means somebody was on that. Somebody was on the team
No,
and they didn't get that much playing time.
No, all of a sudden he don't. No, he know. I'm saying he don't understand
Somebody was on the
English.
team and didn't get that much playing time.
All of a sudden he don't understand English. Well,
What are you talking about?
See,
What are you talking about, Willie? You played before. I'm trying to
I
draw you into
played
a
it, that's
conversation
so I'm.
of a floor general does not always have to win, or they're not a floor general.
But Harry,
Unless you're trying to troll me. Unless you're trolling me.
Understand what's happening. You're being privileged.
Yeah,
to
Jason
information.
Kidd was a floor general, but he never won anything until 2011. So I guess he's trash too.
But Harry, you're being privileged to information that you've never heard before. That's why you're struggling with it.
What are you talking about? I never heard before.
You because you are
You're
a
not
spectator.
telling me anything.
Because
not-
you're a spectator, you're not a player, Harry, and that's okay. You know
What?
it's okay.
What are you talking about, Willie?
Have
Is it
you
too
ever
late for you
played
right now?
basketball competitively? I'm not
Willie,
putting you
you're
on the spot.
deflecting. You're deflecting.
No, I'm
You're
asking
not
a
answering my question. You're just saying that you're providing information that I'm not privy to. You haven't said anything that I can learn from.
But
You
I'm
ain't saying
giving you
nothing.
information that you've never heard. That's why you can't learn from it. Because it's fresh and new information. I'm giving you the player side of it. I'm giving you inside
Floor generals,
information.
the only thing you said was she got to the Final Four and she lost. So she's not a floor general. That's the information that I never heard before.
Yeah. You're not listening, Harry. And I know why you're not listening.
Waldo, is that what you heard
Okay.
also?
Okay, Waldo.
Hey, Waldo, are you still there?
Where'd he go?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm tuning them out.
Were
Are
you
you-
a player?
Did
you ever play?
you hear Waldo? Did you
ever
hear him
play,
say
Waldo?
that
Yes or
because
no?
she lost in the Final Four that she's not a floor general? Isn't that what you heard?
Yeah.
Waldo,
Okay.
were you
Hey,
a
Ronte,
player
are you
or a
still here?
spectator?
Back
Ronte, are you still here?
back to back and runner up, but she's trash. That's what I heard.
Hey, Ronte, are you still here?
Yes,
Tim.
I'm here, Harry.
Hey, Ronte, are you
You're
hearing
not
him say that she
Yes.
lost, so
You're
she's not a
answering
floor
the
general?
question. They're not answering the question, Tim.
Listen,
These two guys are spectators. They're not players, Tim. So that's why it's kind of hard to get them. But that's okay.
I don't know what that means.
hey, Harry, let me.
Oh,
let me
Harry,
explain-
I was
let me
I
explain
was
to
a
you.
basketball state champion in Kentucky, but I'm trash too.
I didn't say you were trash. Were you a starter or were you
Okay,
a
Ronte,
were you a bench man?
hold on, Willie. You're
Were you a
not
starter?
participating right now. You're just kind of deflecting right now. You're deflecting. You say I must.
Harry, let me
Go
say
ahead,
this.
Ron. Go
Let me
ahead.
say this. I understand what Willie is saying because as and Wild Dog should also, as an athlete, we hold our competitors to a higher standard. As a fan, we are happy and we cheer for the victories. Now, making it to the Final Four is a great accomplishment. But as an athlete, looking at that, saying, "Look, you ain't got no championship. I don't care if you're the
Charles Barkley.
you get to I don't care if you Charles Barkley. You ain't got no championship. And okay, you
Chris
make it to
Paul?
the you make it to the championship game 4 years in a row, and you lose 4 years in a row. Buffalo Bills.
Buffalo Bills are trash.
So no,
Yeah,
as a fan, they're not trash because they made it there. But as a competitor, man, you ain't win nothing. You didn't do
All right.
more than
So Ron,
the ones that going out in the first round.
Ron, hear me out.
That's a different.
Is
No,
Chris
listen.
Paul a floor general?
Is who?
Chris Paul, is he a floor general?
Yeah, Caitlin Clark is a floor general also.
But is Chris Paul a floor general?
Yes, he is.
Okay, he ain't won nothing.
Yeah, but you can't take away the fact that he's a master floor general.
Okay,
That's what I'm saying.
So I'm not
Okay,
done.
then it sounds
I'm not
like
done.
that's coming from a spectator, not someone that watches.
Right. I'm not done yet. So if Chris Paul is a floor general, are there nights when Chris Paul is not even able to pass the ball to his right foot player? Yes or no? Are there nights where Chris Paul's lanes are shut down? Are there nights when somebody has this number?
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
Oh, so is he in the NBA playoffs right now?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
Okay, so
but,
then, that's
he's not
indicative
all five,
of
he's not
that's
all five
indicative of
players.
saying there are nights when people stop him.
They might stop him from scoring, but not distributing. In the NBA, if you take
stopped several times, several games he's been stopped.
Harry, with great players, when you take one thing from them, they'll show up somewhere else. It'll be an assist.
Okay.
It'll be on the defense.
If you take away her dribble, she can bust a three in your mouth.
But she don't do that. She didn't do it. She didn't bust in the threes.
She doesn't do
rare
that, Harry.
that
Stop.
floor general is a 3-point threat. It's rare that floor generals are the 3-point threats on your team. It's rare.
A floor general is going to create his own shot regardless.
But you're not listening.
It's
rare
of the game.
because I'm still dealing with Chennedy Carter. She said, what does she bring to the game besides 3-point shooting?
What does she bring?
I'm still dealing with that.
Exactly.
What does she bring?
Now, you're getting that from two players. You're getting it from a player. Kennedy is a player. She's not a spectator.
I'm telling you, listen, cut it out with the spectator stuff because you're not adding to the conversation. So listen,
I know you don't want to hear that.
No, I'm trying to tell you, she's a floor general because she got her team. She was responsible, hands down, the only player that was responsible for getting her team to back-to-back for Final Fours in the college football playoffs.
Oh my
because
God.
she was a floor general.
Okay.
Football.
But see, this is the problem, Harry. This is the problem. See, it's a good thing this is fleshing out in the panel because this is what it's like out in the world of social media. Caitlin Clark can't accept to get the hate, but the fact is real is that she's helping bring a whole new breath of life, unprecedented level of attention to women's basketball.
Stop,
It's undeniable that her being a loser, you can't deny the fact that she's brought in a whole new level, carried that over into the WNBA, into the pros, even while losing. She's still selling out, and she'll continue to sell out.
No, she won't.
So it's a
No,
fact.
she won't.
That's speculative. Where are you
Hold on,
drawing
Tim,
it from?
what?
We're data driven.
What?
We're data driven.
Hey, guys,
Facts are
You
the
gotta
you're a
entertain
Clark
it.
fan, bro.
Everything
In
I gotta go.
2024,
Airbnb,
season
love
tickets
love
sold
what you
out
guys are
in
doing.
anticipation of the upcoming
All right,
season.
thank you, man. I
She-
appreciate you.
Hey, listen. You give
Facts
her
are facts. That's your opinion.
you
But
give
that's the
her
problem.
three. You
People
give her
dragging down Clark or whoever and not embracing the change, this elevation in women's basketball game.
Hey, Tim.
You messing it up.
Tim.
No,
Tim,
bro.
you.
This
Tim,
is
no,
a
Tim,
clear
listen,
example of how people in the public are messing it up.
Tim.
I
Y'all
thought-
are
I
messing
thought-
it up.
I thought
This
y'all
is a
said
good
that
thing.
Y'all were hoopers.
Whatever
Y'all were
Clark
basketball.
is, it's a good thing.
Tim.
Whatever Reese
Tim.
is, it's a
Tim,
good thing.
Let's leave it like that. You and I are
If
players.
you don't
We
like
played
women's
at a-
sports,
we played
it's a
at,
good
at,
thing.
at a
Hey,
high
But no,
level or good level.
no.
If you don't like Clark, if you don't like
finish.
women's sports,
I
if
saw-
you
Wild
don't
dog,
like
wild
the
dog, hold up,
WNBA,
wild dog.
it's doing what it's doing. The numbers
Wild
don't
dog,
lie.
hold up.
It's data. I'm talking about data.
Wild-
I'm talking about facts, not
That's 1
opinions,
year.
not
That's 1
chauvinistic
year.
behavior.
That's 1 year. That's
It's
1 year.
chauvinism. It's chauvinism.
One year,
I'm
bro.
chauvinism.
Wild dog,
Back
hold
to
up.
back.
Wild
Back to back
dog,
loser.
One year, wild dog.
Wild dog, you gotta stop. You gotta.
That's
I
1
was
year.
fine, Harry.
Listen.
I was fine.
I
Listen,
understand that you really enjoy women's basketball.
but you can't like when you're
Obviously
driving
he
a
does,
point.
yeah.
It's like you can't. You keep driving the same point. You keep saying it over and over again. I get it. I understand, but we're trying to take turns talking. That's we gotta take turns to try to get our points in. You can't continue to just dominate the points. I get it. I understand. We're both trying to make the same point. So I just want like if Tim has a point to make, let him get it through, and then we can go back to you getting your point through. That's all I'm saying.
All I was gonna
So-
say was real quick, Harry. All I was gonna say was she took them to the Final Four in 2023. Yes, she took them to the national championship in 2024. I'm not discrediting nothing about her game. Now, floor general, y'all brought up Chris Paul. Y'all brought up Stephen Curry. You know what I mean? Those players can create. They know how to create a when you got a defender that's playing you man to man, they know how to get open in order to
Sure.
get the ball. You
Sure.
know what I mean? They know how to create their shot. Jordan, he knew how to create a shot when his threes wouldn't fall in. Kobe Bryant, he
True.
know how to create a shot. He know how to dribble. Caitlin Clark, she can penetrate, but she's not the greatest penetrator. So she relies heavily on that 3-point shot.
No, I think you got it wrong, Tim.
No,
You got,
she
you got
relied.
it all the way wrong.
Okay, let me ask you this:
You got it all the way
have
wrong.
you seen Caitlin Clark have to create her penetrating to her left pull-up jump shots, penetrating to her right pull-up jump shots?
Or
But
dumping
we
it off.
don't have to
That's
say,
floor
hey,
generals. Hold on. That's floor generals, bro. That's a part of being a floor general.
no, you're trying to compare her to Kyrie Irving. She don't
You
gotta be
brought
that.
up you brought up
No.
Stephen Curry. I didn't bring
No,
him up.
no. The reason why I said it, the reason why I brought up the Stephen Curry situation is because you're saying your point was she got stopped when she
No,
met
I
this
agree.
specific team.
I agree with
said-
the statement.
No,
that was
you
made on
said
social
she
media.
when
got
she
shut
met
down.
South Carolina, when she met this team, they were able
They shut her down.
they had
They
her
shut
number.
her down. Yeah,
Well,
they
what
did.
I was trying to tell you is that when she gets to a specific team that has her number, it's up to her teammates to step up. It's up to her depth chart to step up. It's got to be shooters that are ready to take those shots and make those shots. It can't just be all on her.
I
You saying
pointed that
that
out for you
you
earlier.
but you said getting stopped is indicative of you not being a floor general, and that's not true. Floor generals get stopped all the time. Steph Curry has been silenced. You can hear Steph Curry had several games off. Jason Kidd silenced. There has floor generals get silenced. Even in the series with the Wolves, there were times where Kyrie, he was stopped. People they had his number.
Who? Kyrie?
Kyrie Irving. What are you talking about? Yes.
What game? What game was that, bro? Game 3? Game 3. I mean, yeah, game 4 when he had that bad shooting night here. Other than that, he been killing them, bro.
What do you say other than that? But that's what you're saying. We're saying other than that. We said other than that, she made it to the finals. You can't say other than that for Kyrie and say you can't use other than that for Kaylin. That's the point we're making. We're saying other than that.
So she got to have a good team, a good squad, because she had, like I stated earlier, in
We're
the
making the
beginning
point
of the conversation,
that's not the only
she
part of
had
her game.
she had a shooting guard that can light it up. Am I right or wrong? She had a
When was
power
the last
forward.
time Kyrie won anything besides LeBron? When did he win?
He hasn't.
When did he win? When did he win? When he wasn't with LeBron? When was the last time he won?
He hasn't. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't.
You keep saying he hasn't, but I'm asking you a question. When did he win besides LeBron? Besides Cleveland?
Man,
he got to Brooklyn. He came to Brooklyn. He came to my town.
Did he not
he
shine
did nothing.
in Brooklyn? He didn't shine in Brooklyn. Can't nobody hold Kyrie in the
okay,
NBA,
but he
Let's
didn't win. Remember, we said win. Remember,
Kaylin Clark didn't win. She didn't win in 2023.
But that's the
she
whole
didn't
point.
win in 2024.
It's not indicative. The whole floor general conversation is not. You cannot say somebody's not a floor general.
You spinning it, Harry.
No, you can't say somebody's not a floor general because somebody can stop them. And I'm trying to tell you that Kyrie was stopped with the Nets. There were teams that were stopping him because he didn't have anybody on the other side that can support him.
Listen,
his teammates around him weren't all there. I'm just saying.
Listen,
that's what I'm saying.
Can't nobody stop Kyrie in the National Basketball League, bro.
That's incorrect.
Fact.
That's a lie.
Fact. He has the best handles in the NBA,
it doesn't
bro.
matter, but that's
Name
not
me
a
one
fact.
guard. Name one guard that's better than Kyrie,
bro. That is not a fact. It's a team sport. It has nothing to do with one-on-ones. It's a team sport. You can put people on him to stop him. When they were playing, when Kaylin Clark was stopped, it was a team effort. It was a team effort. Okay? So don't say that she's not a floor general when I know for a fact that she handled the Buffs. And I'm sitting there watching the game, and I'm like, dang, if they can just take away Kaylin Clark distributing that ball, she barely shot the ball. If they can just take her away from distributing that ball and getting it to the right people all the time, we're good. Then the Buffs win.
Okay, so well, the WNBA, when you go from college to pros, the game get a lot faster. The game get a lot harder, right? Can we agree on that part?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
Right.
So, hold on. Take that away from her.
Okay,
don't
the game get
better tag away from her.
Okay, it's better talent. I mean, I'll let you live with that tag. I don't want that tag. I'll let you keep that tag.
So all she got is 3 points.
Because it's other factors that go into being a general, bro, that I don't think you really wanting to hear right now. So I'm gonna let you keep your tag, and I'm not gonna have a tag, bro. I'm just gonna
I'll tell you why. I will tell you those elements. Without Kaylin distributing the ball, Iowa doesn't do anything. Without Kaylin at the helm, distributing the ball the way that she did, they don't go as far as they did. I'm telling you.
She had a team. She had a squad, right? She had a squad.
Oh, okay.
I'm using your words.
Let me tell you about a squad. The Golden State Warriors have a squad too. And they have one of the best floor generals in the game. So That's your argument. Kyrie had a squad in
She go,
Brooklyn.
hey, let me help you out,
Oh,
Harry.
oh, oh, I
She
got
gonna
one
be,
better.
she
I
gonna
got
be
one
the
better for
Charles.
you.
She gonna
I
be the
I got
told
Charles
one
you,
better for
Barkley.
you.
She
I
Guess
gonna be
what?
the
told you,
Charles.
Tim.
She gonna be
Listen.
the Charles Barkley and Karl Malone of the WNBA.
No, she's
I
not.
told you,
I
Tim.
guarantee you. Bookmark this live. Tim, bookmark this live.
I got
That
it.
she would not be. I guarantee it. Oh, I
How
got
many
one better
years?
for you.
How
I
many
got
years
one
you
better
give
for
her?
you. I got one better for you.
Uh-huh.
Kyrie was on the Boston Celtics team.
Right. When
He
they
was
went to the
there,
finals.
huh?
When they went to the finals.
He didn't win.
No, he didn't. But he sure did put on a show.
So Kayla's been put on a show forever. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
She put up.
I'm still on. I'm just making the argument of for your floor generals. They don't necessarily have to win to be the best player on their team, or not the best player on their team, but to also distribute on their team. Not the best on their team.
But she lost.
Hey,
She
listen,
lost.
LeBron wouldn't have
Kyrie
won
lost.
that year
Kyrie has
without,
not won
without
since
Irving.
LeBron. Tennis.
Huh?
So what are you saying? What? So Kyrie hasn't won anything. Guess what? Chris Paul hasn't won anything either. So you're considering him a floor general, Tennis?
That's because Chris Paul can create his own shot.
Yeah,
But he lost. According to Tennis, he lost.
Caitlin Clark lost.
Yes, but so did Chris Paul.
Exactly. So we won
Okay,
for
so
one.
then how can you stick on the argument of somebody never played the game, they're a spectator, because they don't
I'm not saying
understand
that. I'm
that
just saying that she's not a floor general, bro. I just feel like her game is around the 3-point. So people they're gonna respect her 3-point ability. Stephen Curry, they're gonna respect his 3-point ability. So with those type of players, what you want to do? You want to make them drive. You want to make them shoot off the dribble. You don't want to give them a set shot. They set shooters. So therefore, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead, Tim. No, go ahead, Tim. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say you want to make them shoot up. You want to make them shoot off the dribble. You know what I mean? Like for example, who I think may gonna come into the league maybe in 2 years that's gonna be nice is that girl from USC. She could penetrate off the dribble and shoot. Caitlin Clark is not a great penetrator and shoot off the dribble, man. She got to create some type of space, and she more of a set shooter. She catch that thing,
Caitlin Clark is.
Or she got a little.
Clark is tiny. Caitlin Clark is tiny. But what I'm trying to tell you, okay, first of all, Tim, I'm going to tell you right there, you're on the wrong side of history. I'm going to tell you why. You're on the wrong side of history because Caitlin Clark is going to be one of the best players in the WNBA within the next 5 years. I'm telling you right now, you better get on the right side of history. Wild Dog is trying to tell you, you're not listening to him and you're not listening to me. And you're saying that she's going to be you're telling me that she's going to be
you already said
Chuck?
she's going to get traded.
You think that she's going to be a Chuck?
You already said she's going to get traded.
Harry, quick.
Well, yeah, but then Chuck traded
with the sky, huh?
Chuck got traded too, right? Chuck didn't play for one team his entire career. LeBron James has been on 3 or 4 teams, right?
Yeah, LeBron.
Okay.
Okay, Harry.
So Kyrie, how many teams Kyrie been on?
He been on quite a few.
Okay. So what? So why is it bad to say that she's going to get traded and she's not going to be? And you're saying, okay, I want to know what's behind. Let me find out before we go. What is behind you saying she's going to gas out?
Yeah.
What's behind that?
Though.
Huh?
It's a great show.
Okay, listen here. Let me give you a quick story, Harry.
No, I want you to answer that question.
Harry,
I know. Hold on, Willie. I want this on the record. Wild Dog don't got quiet because I muted his mic. Wild Dog, come on, man. Be a good sport, Wild Dog. Listen, I want to know what's behind your thinking that she's going to gas out. Why are you thinking that?
I mean, from being a former basketball player, man, like I see certain things. That's all I'm
What are
saying.
you
Like
seeing
it's
though?
I
Everything
mean,
that you're
I look
Only a
seeing from college.
spectator would ask that question.
what
Only
I
a
what I
spectator would ask that question. I know you
the
don't like
only
me to use the word,
yeah,
but
use
only
it
a
tennis.
spectator. Well, what are you seeing?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But
but what I'm
you're gonna
I
eat
give you
those
a hint.
words. You guys are gonna eat those words though.
I
I'm
mean,
trying to
I don't
tell you,
mind eating them, but from what I
you're
see
gonna
right
eat those
now,
words.
what I see, I don't in 5 years, I don't see her winning no championship, bro.
I said she's
And
gonna be one of the
everybody
best.
talking about
She's
her
gonna be
being the
one of the best
face.
players. She's gonna be one of the best players in the WNBA in the next 5 years.
Oh wow.
Yes, I'm telling you. And you know why? You know why I'm saying that?
Mhm.
Is because when we talk football, we
Mhm.
always use the what have you done? What did he do, or what did he do when he was here? What did he do
Mhm.
over there? Right? We want
Mhm.
to do that, but when we're looking at Caitlin Clark breaking, what did she break, like the 3-point record
Yeah,
in the
she
college?
did. She did.
Okay, okay.
That means
So
she shot a
somebody
lot.
that breaks the 3-point record, somebody
Mhm.
that took her Iowa team that was probably mid. Well, you said the Iowa team was mid.
No, I'm not gonna say they're mid because they've been gelling together for about three years. So they
So
know each other's game
okay,
individually.
so they played that whole synergy game, and they were able to win together, right? Because they knew each
Correct.
other.
Mhm.
Okay, but are you saying that if you take away synergy, are they mid or no? Talent wise,
If you take away synergy,
are they mid talent wise? Because they couldn't finish it. They couldn't finish the deal. Would you not say they're mid when it comes to talent?
uh, uh, I can't say that they're mid because I feel like they
So
could
are
have
they elite?
won. They could. I feel like yeah, you went to the Final Four in 2023, then go to the national championship in 2024. You are elite. You have a elite team.
Who was
You're
the
not
reason for that? Who was the most reason for that? The number one reason for that?
okay.
If
The
you
head
take away
coach,
Kaylin Clark,
the
if you
head
take
coach.
away Kaylin Clark from that team,
Mhm.
you think they can reproduce that?
Wouldn't have made it. They wouldn't have made it to the Sweet 16. No, they wouldn't have made it to
Oh,
the Sweet 16. They would have got beat by
okay,
the Buffs. Your Buffs.
okay, good. So now that we
They would
established
have
that threat, right?
got beat by your Buffs. But what I'm saying,
Okay,
the reason that
okay,
they got
no,
beat. Hold on,
no,
hold
no,
on.
no, no,
Let me
no. But
finish.
stay right here. Stay right here, Tim.
Okay.
If the person that's responsible for taking her team all the way to the Final Four 2 years in a row and then going to the finals, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're saying that person cannot continue to reproduce that same kind of play and get better now that she's in a bigger competition, a bigger bodies, and the best of the college players, right? You're saying she's not going to be able to what's the word, rekindle or reignite that energy that she has. She cannot continue that. You're saying that's not going to happen.
We'll see.
Well,
No,
I
no,
mean
no. Your former
that's
players,
a
they know. We'll see. That's what
We'll
that's that.
see.
spectators say. That's
I
what
mean,
spectators
I
will
feel
say.
like where she's at
Spectators
right
will
now.
only hold on. Let me cook really real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Only spectators will say we'll see,
Hey,
because
Mm-hmm.
the people
hey.
that have played before that saying that Kyrie will find a way to win, that Steph will find a way to win, because they
Mm-hmm.
know that the trajectory of their the way that they have played consistently, that's a winner, and they will find a way to win. And the Fever is either gonna be the Fever, or a team is gonna put other players around her that are just as good
Mm-hmm.
as her, and they're gonna be able to find a way to win. Only
Okay.
spectators would say
Okay.
something like that. We'll see.
Okay. On that
I'm not
same note.
We
saying that.
Okay.
never said that about Jordan. We
Hold on. On
never
that,
I
said that about LeBron. We'll
hold on.
see.
But on
I
that
We
did
always
about
said
on
they
that
will
LeBron.
same
win.
note. Okay. On that same
I
note,
don't
as
even
a
like LeBron.
spectator, most spectators will see when we play out there playing, they have a different perspective. Case in point, this: when
I'm
I
about to
was
cook you,
playing
Willie.
basketball,
Willie, I'm about to
I
cook
was
you right now.
I could,
What do you
listen,
say when DC is taking,
wait
when
till
DC
after I
is
finish.
giving you the business, when DC
Let me
posting
finish.
music and feel so real, or doing
Let me
exactly what you're
finish.
doing? Guess what you
Let me
say?
finish.
Guess what you say, Willie?
You're not letting me
You
finish.
can't. You don't have no right to
I'm gonna
finish.
give
You
you a
got no
I'm gonna
business
give
to
you a classic
no, because I
example.
got your number right now. I
Because
got your number right now. You know what you've been saying about Deion Sanders' boss? The same thing you're saying right now never holds water when DC Carson Music is giving you the business. You're like, no, Deion Sanders is going to win. So
No,
now
listen, Dad,
you're
I'm
on the
not even
different
talking.
side of that conversation.
We're talking about the
Where's
difference
DC?
between the spectator and the player. Now, let me finish what I was saying. When I
DC
was
Carson,
out there
where are
playing,
you?
listen, when I was out there
Where's
playing,
DC
okay,
when I need him?
listen, when I was out there playing, and I'm, we're working our magic, doing what we need to do, and they got a guy in the stands, a spectator, shoot the ball. This is what I'm saying. Spectator look at it from a different perspective. We're working our magic. We're going for a shooting ball. He just went, well, shoot the ball. Shoot the ball. That's what spectators do. They look at it from a different set of lens.
Willie,
You're not seeing it from the
what are you
lens of
talking
the
about?
players. I'm saying
What,
as a
Willie,
spectator,
Willie,
you don't see it from
talking
the
about?
lens of the player.
Not all spectators are the
You want me
same, Willie.
you want me to say it again?
Not
As
all
a spectator,
spectators
you
are
don't
the
see it
same.
from the
There
lens
have
of
been
the player.
Willie, stop talking for a second. Let me tell you something. Some spectators have gone on to be wonderful coaches. A lot of spectators have gone on to be Hall of Fame coaches. So this spectator thing that you're pushing, I don't know where that's coming from, but there are a lot of spectators that understand and know the game very well. So, and they have made writers, they have been made good writers, they have made good analysts. There's a lot of spectators that understand the game of basketball or sports, and they have never played the game.
Now the
So I want you to understand.
spectators I was talking about was the one on this panel that we're having this discussion about now.
But
That's
not what you just described.
Well, no.
I wasn't there telling you to shoot the ball. I wasn't there telling you to shoot the ball, Willie.
But I'm saying,
you're not being genuine. You're not being genuine, Willie. I was never there.
I went back and I said it.
I was like in 1901. I was never there in 1901. I wasn't even born yet.
Harry, you're not listening. As a spectator,
I was playing basketball in 1901. I was not there.
This is what I said about a spectator, Harry. You're not. Spectators look at the game from a different set of lens than the people that are out there playing it, and that's the whole thing of what we're doing right here.
With me, Willie, I'm on the panel. You're saying you're talking to the spectator here, but then you keep describing the people that were at your game. I'm not that guy.
But the reason we're having this conversation like this, because you are seeing it from a different set of lens. You're seeing it from a spectator, and I'm seeing it from a different.
Willie,
because
I'm telling you,
because you don't
you're
get it.
You're not describing my knowledge about basketball.
You keep nothing to do with your
you're talking to Harry, but then you're describing somebody that's telling you to shoot the ball, Willie. You cannot tell me you're describing me.
I use that as an example.
You can't use that as an example. You got to use me as an example.
It's my story. Yes, I can.
But look, this is what you're doing. When we talk about data here on this show, right? Right?
Yes.
We're talking about data on this show. You keep telling me that you're talking about the spectators on this panel, but then when you go into your description, you're not describing my knowledge of the game. You keep describing somebody that's telling you to shoot the ball. I was never there in 1901 when you were playing basketball when y'all used to wear those tight shorts.
Oh,
I was never there, okay? That was not my knowledge.
They were tight, man. They were high and tight. They were, yeah.
All right.
They were high and tight. You're right. They were.
Somebody wants to know how is it 8 seconds or is it 24 seconds? Is it 8 seconds or is it 24 seconds, Flock? Stop playing with me, man. Don't play with me. Listen. So okay, let's put this on the record and we can get up out of here.
All right.
Caitlin Clark is gonna win a WNBA championship. Is gonna be a WNBA champion. She is not a Charles Barkley, all right. She is not a Chris Paul. Like even LeBron tried to help at one point. Okay, he won two straight. And LeBron was like, "Oh man, it's your year." They got excited and they lost. Okay, that is not Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is going to be one of the best players, and I want to say it here. I want to make sure I say it here. Caitlin Clark is going to be one of the best players in the WNBA. She's going to bulk up. The league is going to try their best to try to protect her because they obviously know they can push her around. She's skinny. We all get that. She just came from college. All right. She was taking exams. When you're taking an exam, you're stressed out. You're thinking about basketball. You got to go play. You don't gain as much weight. She's going to come into herself. Okay. You're going to lose weight. All right. Okay. Flock, I'm not taking your basketball IQ test. Okay, trust me. This is not what you want. Like you keep telling people, you tell people in the chat that this is not what you want, Flock. Trust me, I guarantee you, this ain't what you want. You don't want it. You don't want it with me. I promise you. I guarantee you, 1,000%, you don't want it with me. When it comes to basketball, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. But anyways, guys, it's been fun. Listen, it's been a little fiery tonight. All right, I had to mute Wild Dog's mic and whatnot. We were just screaming at each other or whatever. It's passionate. I finally found Wild Dog's passion. It's girls basketball.
He looks puzzled. His picture got him looking puzzled. That picture he had of me, he looked puzzled, man.
Okay. Well, we found Wild Dog's passion tonight. It's girls basketball. All right. And he's part of one of those old men that buys the tickets. I get it now. I understand where his passion comes from. So let's get your final thoughts, guys.
Oh, y'all.
Wild Dog, what is going on, man? Why you got quiet? All right, let's get your final thoughts. Let's start with Tim, man. Let's get out of here. It's 10:31. But okay, so final thoughts, guys. Listen, man. The idea of people trying to make this a race thing, I'm totally not for that. So let's get your final thoughts on this whole situation, this show tonight.
It's a great show, Harry. Once again, it was a fun show for me. The race part of it. I mean, play basketball. I mean,
Bro, I don't get.
they're gonna be
I'm sorry. Hold
physical.
on, Tim. Hold on, Tim. 1 second. I don't have your email unless the email is not generating. I didn't get your email, Flock. Just so you know, I wasn't trying to keep you out the show, but I did not get your email. Maybe it'll come later on after the show finished because my email's been like acting real funny. But go ahead.
No, I was just saying that
Go ahead, Tim.
that's a part of the game. I was just gonna say that's a part of the game. They're gonna be physical. Just let them play. You know, you let the men play, let the women play. I mean, I enjoy watching women basketball just as much as I like watching men's basketball. So the race part, but Stephen A. Smith, I don't like him, man. Like he'll straight up coon for real.
Yeah, I don't like him either. I agree with
And
you. I usually don't speak
I
that
don't
way
like.
about people, but yeah, I don't like that guy.
Yeah, I don't like him, bro. Like he flip flop. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. Uh, and again, another great show, Harry. But you got Caitlin Clark in 5 years,
Yes,
which you stated right on the record. Okay,
I'm on the
yeah, I
record with 5 years.
disagree.
She's going to be one
That's
of the
it.
best players in the WNBA.
I I say 5 or more. Can she become a great player? Yes, she has all the capability of doing so, but not within the first 5 years.
Not within the first 5 years. I can cut it down to 3. I can go as far as 3. I can change my answer to 3.
I'm being generous. I'll give you 5 within the first 5.
Okay. All right. Go. Tennis Channel is your microphone. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, thank you, Harry. It's been fun again, man. It's been a lot of fun. While we were talking, I received a text from one of my coaches, and he was telling me about a couple of my players, and parents say they miss me and stuff like that. And it really means a lot. What we were talking about here is kind of important. But when I bring it down to home, like here, dude, I mean, when you're working with people and they want you there, they miss you and stuff like that. That means a lot. So I wasn't trivializing anything we were talking about here, but for that one moment, man, what I do here was really, really important because people, hey, we miss you. So I had to, bring it back here and everything. This is a good show, guys. We get in, we go back and forth with each other, but we and if I could say this in a manly Christian way, we love each other, and so
Yes, we do.
we don't get all salty with nothing like that. We push back, and after that, it's all what it is. So I appreciate the show. Appreciate you, Wild Dog. You my man, Tim. I appreciate you, guys. DC, I know you're in there listening somewhere. And all you other guys, appreciate you so much.
I'm glad you said that, man. No, for real. Like I'm glad you said that. We do respect and love each other here. I
Yeah.
just want everybody to know, as much as we may, this is the sports talk that we are hoping that everybody would do, is to just be as tough on each other as possible, push each other's buttons, especially if we're doing barbershop talk. If we're in there talking to the barbershop, man, sometimes people if you're in each other's face, you can come to blows at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? But it's
Yeah.
just like, I want people to know that we do respect each other and we do love each other here. So, but go ahead, Wild Dog. If you're still there, Wild Dog, I don't know, your screen has been frozen. All right. So I didn't mean to cut your microphone, but you was kind of extra tonight. I just want to let you know that. All right. But your final thoughts.
But what's my name? Extra
Wow.
dog.
Wild
Extra
Dog, but I
dog.
didn't know
So
you
I'm
was
just
that
saying.
wild.
Hey,
Oh, that's
I'm just
funny.
saying, I'll go in and then I'll get quiet and I'll let it go. Let's see what it do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just here to have fun. Like you said, barbershop talk. You know what I'm saying? It's like an angry black man, but you spend time in the backstage, you get to know me somewhere else, you're like, oh, he just old teddy bear. But bears bite too. Well, I nibble, I don't bite. But anyway.
Pause, man. Pause your whole conversation, bro. I ain't hugging no teddy bear. Like, pause that whole thing you just said, bro.
No diddy.
Oh, wow.
But man, today was wild, man. So I might have been extra because I did get called a ninja in the chat. So I did get triggered today. I had to flex.
You pulled a DC Carson.
I had to flex on somebody. I had to flex on somebody in the chat because I'm like, hey, I'll be anything but a boy and a ninja. Y'all, you know what I'm saying? I got a passport. You can't run from me. I'll come find you anywhere in the world. You know what I'm saying? You can call me anything else. We can roll with it. It's all good. We all here to share, have fun.
Stay out of the chat. I keep telling y'all, when you're giving a commentary, you cannot pay attention to what's being said about you in the chat. I'm going to tell that to the whole panel. Do not pay attention to what's being said about you, because when you say something that maybe somebody doesn't really understand, they're going to say stuff about you in the chat, but you can't take that personal and let that change the color of what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying, Harry. It's like, you can call me or say anything about me. I'm cool. A lot of things have been said about me, and I'm cool. But just 2 words. Can't call me a boy. I'm from the South, and you can't call me no ninja. Anything else, we cool. You can call me literally. You can call me anything else.
You got one of those words tonight. You got triggered. I get it.
You can call me anything else, but I was still cool. I'm still cool, Harry. But I'm just talking because it's my closing remarks. So we've been on here 3 hours. So things have happened. So I'm just letting it be on the record. Hey, just call me anything. I'll be anything you want me to be, but a boy and a ninja. Then we all good. You know what I'm saying? So and then I got muted tonight. Man, dang. Bad dog. You're
passionate about women's basketball. You're so passionate. You wouldn't let.
I apologize. I'm passionate about basketball. I'm passionate about my community. Yeah. You should see me out in the street, Harry.
Even more than football, man.
No, Harry.
Never saying that's not a Wild Dog.
No, Harry. You should see me out in the streets when I'm volunteering, when I'm out doing outreach, and some people's rights are violated or people are mistreated. Oh, you should really see me. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good thing I know a lot of people in the community and police officers, because it's like, oh Lord, people move. Me alone, like a Texas Ranger, I've done crowd control. You know what I'm saying? So wow. it can cut both ways. So I would just use my command voice. I go in and then I'll get quiet and see what did that do? Where are we at? What's the chat doing? Am I contributing or am I not contributing? But again, I apologize, Harry B, that I pushed you to the point of muting me, and I apologize, panel, if I went too far. So I apologize. But all I'm just here is for barbershop talk. Y'all know me and Tim. I've been trying to get Tim to lunch forever, so I'm not tripping on Tim. You know what I'm saying? when you know what I'm saying, it's a real talk. And then I'm expecting, hey, we go to lunch, we hook up, I'll pay. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm about supporting Harry B. TOP Sports Club and the community that we're creating, and the community that we're creating, and just let's not ruin it. Let's enjoy this moment, because what was that, 50 years ago, dog, when we had Bird and Magic? Come on, man. Let's just enjoy this ride that Clark and Reese have given us, and let's just enjoy the ride, have fun with it, enjoy sports, talking about sports, because man, it could be another 50 years before this kind of sports atmosphere and camaraderie, comes along, man. It's just competition. You know what I'm saying? We all come from the same mother. We all come from the same father. We all distant cousins. It's just enough's enough. Let's enjoy each other and live our best lives. Thank you, Harry.
Yeah, man, y'all welcome, man, and I thank y'all for coming on. I know it was not a Deion Sanders Colorado football talk, but y'all already know how y'all rock with me. I appreciate the fact that y'all rock with me no matter what I bring up, whether I want to talk about wading in the water, I want to talk about racism and how people are being treated in the locker room.
Yeah.
I mean, y'all rock with me, so I really want to say I appreciate y'all, and y'all know that this community is tight for that. So whenever I come on here, I hope you didn't take it personal that I muted you. I just know that, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, I had to get your attention, because when you get, I didn't know that when you get so passionate, you don't hear anyone. It's like,
I'm going in, man.
You thought you was in the Texas streets, commanding the streets, like trying to stop traffic. I was like, damn, Wild Dog. I was like, Wild Dog, give me a second. And you just kept going. I was like, damn, okay, let me try the mute button and see what happens. But I appreciate the fact that we can all laugh it up. And then you had Tennis Channel out here talking about you a spectator stuff. I'm like,
say, dog, say. Maybe that's another word I had to add to my list, my 3-word list.
Push that button, man.
Maybe I need a 3-word list.
Right. So I was like, I said, okay. But no, I'm afraid for Tennis and I'm afraid for Tim. You know why? Because I feel like they're on the right side of college football on Deion Sanders' side, but they're trying to get off the wagon when it comes to Kaylin. And I'm like, y'all getting on the wrong side of history when it comes to Kaylin Clark, because the girl is really like that. And for y'all to say that she ain't like that, I'm like, dang, I don't want my guys to miss the boat or to miss this train, because I feel like we're going to be celebrating this girl for years to come. And y'all are on the wrong side. Like, I don't want y'all to have to come back or to be thinking about this, because you're not going to forget this moment that you said that she was not that. I'm telling you, you're not going to forget this. And I don't want to be the only one over here celebrating. Like, I told y'all, I want y'all to do the same thing, just like we're going to do this year. When Coach Prime wins, we're going to be able to tell the haters to be quiet. But now y'all are on the other side, and you're going to be like, dang, I missed that boat. It's like crypto. If you didn't get it in 2017, if you didn't buy Bitcoin in 2017 for what, $60 or how? Well, no, $6,000 in 2017, then you missed the boat. So anyway, that got kind of weird.
Hey Tim, we gotta chop it up about LSU, man.
Yeah,
LSU
y'all go chop it up by LSU, because y'all are missing the boat.
Women basketball or football?
No, men's basketball. Men's football.
Okay, yeah, most definitely.
So
hey,
we're
you
gonna
know
be
we
a
got
Bucks
that.
fan?
Tim, I'm telling you and Willie right now, y'all better get back on the boat either on Friday's show, or try to warm back up to this table, because y'all are on the wrong side of this table. I just want to let y'all know, this Kaylin Clark table, y'all on the wrong side of it. Okay,
Tim, I'm giving you an invite now for a Fever game, and that's tickets are not to be had. So that's a big olive branch I'm putting out to you, bro.
I would love to.
You in the area, or at least
I love to come out there and.
Or like June 9th is actually going to be my birthday game. So,
well, happy early birthday, because you got a few more days. Happy early birthday, because it's June 3rd. So
June the 9th.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, that's going to be my birthday game.
Okay,
this is June 3rd.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
All right, guys.
Tomorrow I'll be at the Texas Rangers game.
These Monday night football. These Monday night. Go ahead.
So just when it's your birthday week or birthday times like, okay, so Ranger fans would be out with me tomorrow night that'll be my Rangers baseball birthday game. They're giving away replica rings. And then the next available Wings game that makes sense for everybody, for all the basketball heads, is Sunday the 9th. So it just was the best time to get together and kind of celebrate each other, even other June birthdays. So that's just how we do it. So birthday game is just somewhere around your birthday that makes sense for everybody. So that's what that is. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well,
Okay, yeah, get my email from Harry, man.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'd love to have you.
I'll forward over the email to you, and yeah, so y'all can have it. So, all right, guys. Well, y'all have a good night. People got to go to sleep on my Monday night shows. I can't go as long as I do for my Friday show. So, all right, guys. So I'm gonna let y'all have it, Mr. Spectator, Mr. Street Director. wait, that's for you, Mr. Street Director, and Mr. Tim. I'm on the wrong side of history. Y'all have a good night.
Y'all have a blessed night, man.
Have a blessed night, guys.
Take care. Hopefully I'll see y'all on Friday. Free for all Fridays. I'll see y'all guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night, everyone. Good night.